What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show, The Rundown. We're back again today for a special episode, two things we're covering, and a special guest. DS Icons is in the house to help us talk about The Flash. I don't think he's a big fan of the Flash as a whole, but we thought we'd get him in for an extra opinion on the movie just to see what's going on, to see what he thinks about it.
Hey,
And then we have
special
Mr.
guest. I was looking around trying to see who we got as a special guest.
We got the special guest, the fastest poser on the planet, Mr. DS Icons. What's going on, mate? Welcome to the show.
Happy to
Welcome
be
to
here.
the rundown. Our first guest, right? I think you are our first guest ever.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
hey.
Look, don't ask me. I don't have the good memory, but I'm pretty
that's
sure.
the record there. Because I was
That
your
is a
first
record.
guest ever on your channel too.
Oh shit!
Oh,
you
true.
were
I'm
too.
posted up.
You were too. Damn,
The
didn't even
go-to,
make
the
connection.
go-to first guest.
Oh my god! There you go. Well, it was meant to be. We were meant to talk about the Flash. It was meant to go down. I'm
Yeah.
hyped. I'm hyped now to talk about the Flash. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, DS, welcome to the show, mate. Anthony, back as always from doing a mission. We thought he was. I thought you weren't going to be here. I was going to make a joke about firing you and all those things. It's all ruined now. So thanks for
I was
being on
gonna
time.
pretend to be you, man, but you messed it up.
You messed it up, bro. You messed it up. I'm gonna be like, Anthony,
DS
what's
acting
up?
like a scroll.
Right. Shape shifting on the show.
Oh man, if I had any foresight, that would have been a great trick. Actually,
would be.
that would have been for the scroll.
Hey, I'd have said I was Anthony the whole time.
Ah, damn! I could have played one of the short clips or something, and then switched the cameras.
You gotta be on your toes with this type of stuff, John. Come on, man.
Ah, shit! Had an opportunity to do something cool. Damn it!
No,
Either
you
way.
would have just spoiled it on your Instagram.
Yeah, probably. Damn it! That's a burn. That's a bloody burn. Damn it! Oh man. Look, we got a lot to talk about, so I'm hyped. Let's get into it. Anthony, before we do, Anthony, what's going on, mate? How you doing? Welcome.
I'm
back.
doing great. But it is a bit hot over here. So,
You and
F
DS.
Josh, F the jacket bro jacket. I'm just going in a t-shirt. It's too hot to do
That's
this.
fair enough. I'll give it to you. So next summer, I'm
Thanks,
not going to
man.
kill myself wearing it, sweating behind the
Good.
lights. I will
Good.
take
Dude.
it off.
Dude, don't pretend. You were wearing that jacket even before I had
Look.
one.
It's true. I've seen many of shows with that jacket on.
Oh, come on, dear. This is not working out.
It's
how
your
I thought. You're
trademark.
supposed to back me up.
Dude, it's your trademark. I bet if you're not wearing the jacket, people are gonna ask, "Where's John?" Dude, nice stream, but where's John?
Look,
It's
this is a
scroll taking his
comfortable
place.
jacket. Man, it's a comfortable jacket, okay? It's got Marvel. I don't have to think about dressing up. It's like a uniform. I put it
True,
on, boom,
true.
I'm ready to go.
It's a superhero suit,
Oh, it is my superhero suit.
and we
Yes,
need one
man.
because DS told me he was going to wear the Flash suit, and he didn't. So we
Hey,
need you
He
to
got
wear
your
it.
hopes up.
I
He got your
didn't
hopes
have
up,
time
bro.
to put my flash suit on. I ain't as fast as him. Hey, but you know what? I got y'all though. I got y'all
Oh, we got it. we got it,
Oh,
covered. I got y'all
the
covered.
Flash.
Let me do this. Just for y'all.
So he must be
I'm
ready
gonna
to
put it on
hype the
over my
film.
shirt, so I'm gonna have a collar on under the shirt. That's gonna look crazy, but
Damn.
you know,
No, it looks
Hey,
fine.
rocking it. That's
There you
cool.
go.
That's
Damn.
actually pretty cool, yo.
there y'all go.
Are
Stream
you
wear.
here to shill for the Flash? Are you literally here to
he
shill
is.
for it?
He is.
He's here to
I
shill for
changed,
the Flash.
I changed in a flash.
Oh,
Dude,
Jesus.
already
All right.
up with the puns, and Renz isn't even up yet.
Yeah, you're taking over for Renz. He'll hop in. Oh, no, he's here. Oh, wait, he's here.
Oh,
Okay,
Renz is-
before we get into it then, let's just check out who's here. Who's in the chat? We know you're there, Anthony, because I thought you were going to be late.
Thank you.
There we are.
Thank you.
AJ, what's
Hey,
going on,
AJ.
mate? Channel
Big
member.
Big Lebowski himself.
The big fella. Module Case is here yet? Not here yet. Let us. I can't remember. You did a post about waiting for him. Lukagi's in the house. What's going on, brother? Helen's in the house. What's going on, Helen? Thank you for being
Oh.
up early.
Yeah.
Battling the cold like myself. You know, we're doing it tough over here. It's cold over here. AJ says, "Well, we've got a guest here today." Yes, the first one. Andre's in the house. DS coming in hot with that crisp audio quality. Damn it, Andre!
Burns already. Dude, John, you just keep that Logan ready because I feel like you're going to need this show.
No, come on, please, guys.
Keep it ready.
Men's is back. He's hot for it. It's hot by me right now. All you guys are in summer. The cat's snoozing on me, which also helps. Nice. Warm. And Butch, what's going on, Butch? I'm here to enable Butch to get that President Loki. I think.
Dude, are you getting it or not?
I don't know if I am. I don't know.
How are you going to enable someone not get it yourself?
Well, because you guys always freaking enable me. So, Butch, I think you should get President Loki. I mean, you've already got Sylvie now coming in. You've also got TVA Loki. You've also got the Endgame Loki. Don't do it. Just you want the laughing head sculpt. You could put it on the Endgame Loki and have him laughing, being maniacal. Do it, Butch. Enabled. Boom.
John, that
Get
little devil on the other shoulder, whispering
Yeah,
in his
do
ear
it.
right now.
Yeah, do it. Just think of the head sculpt, Butch.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't like waiting for discounts, but I'm kind of waiting for discounts to get the President Loki because the laughing head sculpt could be cool on just any Loki.
I've already
you
seen
have,
pictures.
right?
It looked, I've seen pictures with someone putting the laughing head sculpt
Oh,
on
dude,
the
send
Endgame
them.
suit.
Yeah,
It
send
looks
it.
awesome.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I'd be switching them in and out. Woo, but this show is not about Loki. This show is about The Flash. Don't mind my Marvel jumper. This is a DC conversation first before we get into Secret Invasion. So we're going to do The Flash. DS has come here to tell us all the great, fantastic things about it and why he loved it so much. Anthony's going to back him up. I'm going to possibly be the villain. And then we're going to get into Secret Invasion and see which of the two, Anthony or DS, who is the Skrull. We will find that out.
Yeah, so let me preface this Flash rundown by saying I saw the Flash a day before it came out just because they had like a preview in the cinema here, in the local cinema. And like 1.5 hour in, I was texting John, dude, I'm bored.
Ouch.
Damn.
Ouch. And that's what you said about it. So I don't really know anything else about how you think. That's literally, I think, all we've talked about with it.
No, I think
Literally.
2 weeks ago we talked a bit about it backstage, right? Maybe even on stream.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Who knows?
You
Look,
just
I'm gonna
forgot,
forget.
dude.
It's like I never did. It's like I never did.
Yeah.
Like
So
I never
every
did.
week behind backstage, I just tell the same jokes over and over again, and you just hear them like the first time every week.
Are you doing a mental study on me?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm doing.
All right, let's get into it. We've got 9 pictures. I try to describe. Now, I will start pre-frame this by Often, our Mr. Producer. I'm going to start calling him Mr. Producer and singing the Andrew Tate song. I don't know if anybody's heard that. But there's a song called Mr. Producer, and it's hilarious. That is now Often. He got these pictures for me, so thank you, Often, for the great pictures.
Thank you,
my friend.
Often.
We start off with
you.
The Flash. Now, I want to kick this over to you guys first because I want to get a feeling for what you guys thought. I'm assuming it's going to be all positive from DS. So, as being our guest, DS, why don't you kick us off? What's your initial thoughts of The Flash? And I heard you made a hit piece on it or something. Just let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
DS
did
is
like
our-
a 25.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was saying you are our Flash expert at the moment because you already did a rundown on him.
Yes,
Yeah,
fill
I
us
did.
in.
Oh.
He's got the
Oh.
He's definitely
I
here
got
to chill.
I got the stuff the movie was supposed to be based on. So yeah,
Maybe solo DS.
No, don't solo me. Don't solo me. You know, I thought the movie was in the middle. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad, but it wasn't great. You know, they was all the and I'm kind of echoing what I already said, but all the people who saw it like months ago or whatever that was saying, "Oh, this is the greatest superhero movie ever made." Don't believe that. That was just all hype. Honestly, the movie was. If they hadn't done all that, I probably would have thought more of it. But the movie overall, it was in the middle. It was. I didn't expect much, but I expected a little more though. You know what I'm saying? So,
Were you quite hyped going into it?
huh?
Were you very hyped going into the movie? Like coming into it, were you super excited about it?
I was originally hyped when they first announced they was gonna do like the Flashpoint storyline, but as time went on, nah, that hypeness was slowly dwindling away. And I didn't like Ezra Miller even before all that craziness. I didn't like him being cast as the Flash from the beginning. I was like, this is not a good
Oh,
cast for Barry Allen. Like Barry Allen doesn't act and he's not like this dude that they got playing him. He's not a good person
yeah,
representing
okay.
Barry. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's my initial thoughts, I guess. It was a cool movie, but it
yeah.
could have been better.
Yeah, okay. So, because honestly, I had no idea how you felt about it, so I wasn't sure if you hated it or if you enjoyed it. Because I think, I think a lot of people are kind of in the middle a bit, kind of bit like, eh. And I want to ask you guys a few questions about that. Before I do, though, Anthony, what your initial thoughts? Like, now I know you texted me your board, but how did you feel by the end of the movie? You know, how were your thoughts after it?
Well, maybe not the ending, but okay. So I I kind of feel like the movie struggled a bit with which tone they wanted to take. If they wanted to be a funny
Mm-hmm.
movie or like a gritty movie or a serious movie. Um, I kind of like the whole Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure part because I don't mind Ezra Miller. I'm not emotionally attached to comics. I did not have a lot of expectations. Um, I
Yeah.
try to avoid watching trailers nowadays since Doctor
Oh,
Strange because I think
they
trailers
spoil
fuck up
everything.
everything for me.
Yeah.
Up to a
Hey,
point that I even. Sorry, yeah?
McFarlane spoiled the villain in the movie by releasing his toy line like 2 weeks
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Mm,
saw that. I saw that. And not only McFarlane, also Hot Toys in their expo. I saw it from the Hot Toys
mm.
exposition.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right.
and that I didn't know about um, the other villains though. So that was new for me. That was a cool surprise
Mm,
for me too. But so, like I said, I don't watch trailers anymore. I even forgot
mhm.
that Keaton was in there.
Oh,
So
really? Jesus.
yeah, so when he was in there, I was like, oh yeah, I knew that. I kind of knew that, but I was caught off
Mm.
guard by it still. Um,
Was that a good
so
surprise for you then, forgetting it, like going and not remembering that he's going to pop up?
yeah,
Was it like,
so
oh, that's
I
right?
wasn't even planning on going to the Flash in this preview because I didn't even know that there would be a preview. I was just walking in the city and saw it and I thought, okay, that's cool. Um,
Mm,
it was like 2 o'clock in the midday, so it was a weird time to see it.
that's random. I wonder if
Um,
that affected how you felt about it.
so I kind of think, yeah, maybe. I kind of felt like there were 9 out of 10 moments in the movie, but I also felt like there were 4 out of 10 moments in the movie.
Mm,
So it's just in the middle because of it for me.
yeah, I think to cap off both your guys' initial thoughts, it was kind of in the middle for me too. I think so. I know we were joking that I was going to come out saying it was a 10 out of 10, but for me, I don't know. Like, I don't mind Ezra's acting and DS. Like, I'm not attached to the comics either, so I haven't minded um, Ezra's performance of Flash because I don't really have anything to compare it to. I didn't watch the CW show either. So to me, I'm like, oh, okay, this is an interesting choice. I thought he was quite funny in moments with Ben Affleck and stuff about snacks and that through Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I was okay with him as the Flash.
Yeah.
My
So on
thoughts
the
changed.
oh, so on the
No, no,
casting. Sorry.
yeah, on the
Okay. So on the
casting, yeah.
casting, yeah, dude, I really love Grant Gustin as the Flash.
Mm,
I loved CW Flash, but only for like the first 3 or 4 seasons maybe, and then it fell off for me. And after
mm,
that, it felt like a snooze fest for me. So I wasn't that attached to it anymore. But I really like Grant Gustin as the Flash.
Yeah,
mm,
But having said
CW
that,
Flash.
yeah. But having
Go
said
ahead.
that, I don't mind Ezra Miller as the Flash.
mm. Well,
Yeah, CW Flash was. I agree with Anthony. It was good. Season 1, 2, and 3. Season 1 will always be the best, but
Yeah.
season 1, 2, and 3 was good. Season 4 kind of like just I don't know what they was thinking. Season 5 it kind of came back, and then season 6 it just fell all the way over off the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last season was absolute trash.
damn, that's a
But
shame.
Grant Gustin was an excellent
Dude,
Flash. He
yeah.
Okay, so maybe I need to go back and check out that first season. But yeah, look, we came out of it. We thought it was all right. A few things threw me, which I wanted to we'll go over a bit, I guess, as we go through these next couple of pictures. Like, I mean, I love this shot. I loved that first effect of him running to go save the babies and do all that stuff.
Oh, I
But
hate that scene, but
that scene, I agree. Though I didn't like the baby scene personally either. The bit leading
yeah.
up to it, I liked when he's running there. I thought that looked.
Oh
sick.
yeah, the running was dope.
Yeah.
That like especially how it kicked off like this and the camera does that. That looked awesome. I was like, oh shit, okay. I was getting hyped like right at the start. But then the
Until
baby
they
thing
showed a
happened.
close
And,
up of him
Yeah,
doing what,
like-
what did Anthony say? His swimming run, and then
Yeah,
I was
his
like,
swimming run.
God.
I don't mind the running, to be fair. I didn't think about it like you guys as much like that. It was more the other special effects in the film, like the babies. That sequence threw me out right off the start of it. Like right after this, I'm like all hyped, and then I see the CGI. And look, it was an issue for me in those areas because if that stuff throws me out of the movie, I'm like, I like the technical side of films and when they make stuff look awesome. Like I enjoy looking for those things when I'm watching a movie too. It's just something that I enjoy. So when I see bits like that, I'm like, oh damn, like that's a bit off-putting. Am I, is that just me being overcritical, or is that like kind of off-putting that it kind of looks so unrealistic?
Oh
The
yeah,
stuff
we've
with
talked about
with
this.
Yeah, that's right. But like my initial thoughts were that's what threw me out of the movie to start with, not the story, just the quality of how some of it looked. It was cool to see
It was a
Batman
very
come
goofy
in.
scene, man.
Sorry?
Like Batman's parts though, I thought were great.
No, but not the Batman. I'm talking about the baby scene. It was just a very
Yeah.
goofy scene how they did it. And I know they was trying to go for the whole Quicksilver thing, like in X-Men, but
Mm.
the way they did it was just not good at all. And then it was like the start of the movie, so I was sitting there like, oh my god, if this how the movie gonna be, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, dude. So, I've seen a lot of critics of bad opinions about the baby scene. I didn't even mind the baby scene, to be honest. I just thought it was to set the tone for me. So I thought, okay, so this is the kind of movie that it's going to be, and it totally fit the Bill and Ted's Excellent or Bodacious Adventure, like it did, and it actually became that movie. So the baby scene kind of fit the whole movie for me, so I didn't mind it. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. And if we talk about the CGI literally reminded me of the Blade 2 fight of Blade versus Nomak. And at that time, in 2002, I thought, dude, this is amazing. If this is possible, anything is possible. But it literally looked
Blade
like
versus
2002
Nomak,
CGI.
classic.
Sorry?
I said
What'd you say?
that scene with Nomak and Blade is still classic.
Dude, yeah, and this CGI reminded me of that. You know, like the elasticy kind of movements with your eye just knows it's not right.
Yeah.
But for that time, it was like a revolution in CGI, right? And this
Yeah,
was
See,
like
I
the
don't-
same
I don't mind
thing.
watching Blade.
Yeah.
Well, because
yeah.
this is new,
I don't,
we
I don't
expect
mind
more,
watching
I
the
think.
Blade scene because I know it's from that time.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas today, it just and look, it was just something that threw me off a little bit, and because I do look for that stuff. I enjoy, like things like Avatar, quality things like that. I
Yeah, it
get
throws
super
me off
hyped
as well.
about. Really? Ah, no, I love that. I love that.
No, dude, I
now
mean,
look-
the CGI throws me off.
oh, I get you. I will just quickly catch up on some of the chats here, so we don't
Yeah.
lose track of our guys. Ren says he's up. What's up, Renz?
Yo, Renz.
John, is that little devil on your shoulder
Hawkboy.
whispering mono sound in your ear? Get out, Andre. Who did that?
Yeah, I did. It's for Hawkboy. Andre's up.
Meanwhile,
so Renz
Andre's
is up.
burning me. I'm not giving you a burn for that, Andre. You know what? Take that punishment. Butch says, "I'm broke, John. Give me a President Logan." Damn. I'm sorry, Butch. Let me see what I can do. This is a DS Comics, not DC Comics.
DS
this week.
Comics.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Offen's in the house, mate. Thank you for the slides. You are a champion. And he composited some for Secret Invasion. Just awesome.
Damn.
Helen says, agree, DS and never got into Ezra's portrayal. So Helen agrees with you, DS. She never got into Ezra's either. Of the Flash. Interesting, because I thought I loved him in. I actually thought he was great in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the moment with the car and how they showed. I think how Zack Snyder did the slow motion stuff with him in Zack Snyder's Justice League with the car and saving the girl was amazing. The way he did it with the music, this just didn't compare. That first sequence didn't compare to that at all. I think as a portrayal of his skills and the Speed Force. Do you think? Did you guys like that scene in Justice League where he saves the girl from the car crash? I thought that scene was
I
done
like the entire
awesome.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like how they did him in the movie, but um, eh, I still couldn't. I could take him in Justice League only because the movie was so good and the way that he was used wasn't that bad. But if you look at like the Josh Whedon version, oh, he's annoying. Oh my god! I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad Snyder cleaned this up because he was super annoying in that movie.
Yeah, much better in Justice League. Much better. Look, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League is one of my
Yeah.
favorite comic book movies. For them to say this is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time over like Zack Snyder's Justice League, get
Yeah,
outta
that's
here.
weird. That's
Come
weird.
on,
That's weird. Yeah.
get out of here.
True.
Come on, that is a
Bananas.
freaking epic. AJ says, I've always felt the casting was kind of odd myself too. I greatly prefer Grant Gustin's portrayal. So look, all this, everybody's saying Grant Gustin's awesome. Why wasn't he in the film? Often says it's a crime Gustin wasn't in it, even though Ezra popped up in the show. And I did hear that. I'll just quickly rattle off the rest of these and I'll get your guys' opinion on that. What do you think of that? Helen says, same. Often I expected Grant to pop up at some stage, given Ezra appeared in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, right. Cancel Iron Logan for not watching Grant Gustin Flash. Get out. I just complimented you often, you bastard.
Hashtag cancel.
Yeah, play Logan.
Oh god. Andre says, my biggest supporter. He says, I haven't watched The Flash yet. You guys sound like you all feel the same about it. I guess we're kind of all on the same page, but we'll see. Let's catch up on some of these. Yep. Andre says, don't worry. He's not into superhero movies. That's hilarious. I think last season I saw half of season 7. Oh, that was the final season of The Flash, right?
No, Flash was not season 9.
Oh shit. I think Ezra's Flash just got a bit under my skin over time. I can't quite put my finger on it, but when the character was serious, I was good with it. Interesting. The babies. Can someone please explain to me why the Flash needs to take the specific pose before running? He never did that in the comics, so it seemed like it actually slowed him down. Ooh.
Yeah, and I
It's a
also
Ezra
think that.
thing.
Sorry.
I say it's an Ezra Miller thing. It's probably how he portrays or how he thinks Flash runs or stands or whatever. It just looks goofy.
Yeah, but I think Future Flash or the second Barry didn't walk like that, right?
No.
Future
I think these
Flash,
type probably
no.
make he ran differently, right? I think so.
So that's kind of
Correct
weird.
us if I'm wrong.
Because he didn't run like that in Josh Whedon's one, in the Zack Snyder one. He did over here, but his young Barry didn't run that way.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know,
just
but-
like
The suit,
Yeah,
maybe?
fine.
I don't know. But it's goofy, and I don't need it. I really don't mind Ezra Miller. But the walk was just silly.
the opening sequence I loved, Baby Shower included, Scorpion King CGI. Basically, they rushed it for sure, but given enough time to drop. Look, they had plenty of time to do it. The movie had been sitting for a year.
Yeah,
whether
so
they
No,
put
this
the
is-
money into it-
It's 2016.
Yeah, well, there you go. Like, what the hell?
Well, it was
They've been working
finished
on the
like
movie since 2016.
Yeah, and I think it was finished a year ago because I thought it was so hilarious what James Gunn posted. He posted like a compliment, which was kind of not a compliment, but at first sight it looks like a compliment. He posted like, "I liked the movie," or something like, "I loved the movie," or "It was a great movie." I liked it as much as when I saw it first time a year ago. So it looks like a compliment, but actually he's saying, "This is not my doing. I had nothing to do with this movie. It was finished a year ago. I'll start doing the James Gunn universe now."
Yeah. I've seen some crazy stuff online with people like saying conspiracy theories that it's like James Gunn's fault that the movie didn't do well and stuff like that because he was writing Superman before he got hired. I'm like, man, that's you're overthinking it. You
Yeah.
probably they're definitely overthinking it.
Yeah.
But James
Um,
Gunn, he shoot, forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
okay. It'll
Just
come
jump
back
in
to
when
you.
you remember.
Yeah. Look,
All
Mandy's
right.
got my back. Well, you have to pose before you begin frolicking in the wind. I hope everyone did that. I thought everyone did that. Nice, Lukagi. Only superhero I want to
Oh,
see
I
on
know
the
what I
big
was gonna
screen
say.
is Dolby Digital, man. Fuck.
Yes?
Bloody Andre.
Yeah, James Gunn, he blamed the fans for the movie flopping. He said it's the toxic fans reason the movie is flopping right now.
Oh,
Oh, really?
is it? Did he?
Yeah,
That's
it's a couple articles and a couple YouTube videos where they talking about him blaming the fans.
Damn.
I
I'm
don't
like,
see James
really,
Gunn
dude?
doing that, to be honest.
That's
Let me.
crazy.
It's
Oh
so
Yeah.
off
man,
character for
let
him.
me,
He might
let me
say
see if I can
something.
find it. While
Yeah, because he might say something that you could interpret as being offensive, but I don't see him
Yeah, I've
saying
never
stuff
seen
like
that. Has
that.
anybody else seen that? Yeah. That's crazy. Well, look, let's touch on this bit. So Ben Affleck
let me
being
see.
in it, I thought he was
Let me let me
great.
let me let me
He,
verify. Make sure this ain't fake news.
yeah, check. Make sure it's not fake news.
Check it. Oh, so when I saw this scene, there's one frame in the scene where the head sculpt looks exactly like the one Hot Toys did.
Yes.
So I thought, oh damn, that's where they got it. It's just like because in that, not in that scene, but in that frame, the wind just blows his face all out of proportions, and they took that frame to base the toy on. That's so dumb,
Oh, bro.
but it is accurate.
Yeah, I think this will be one I'll be skipping. I'm not into that suit that much. It hasn't worn on me,
Yeah,
and even
I
though
want
that
to
heat
skip it.
sequence was good, I'm probably going to skip it.
Yeah, I want to skip it.
You say you want to skip it. Does that mean you're still gonna get it?
I don't know. I'm just saying, at this point in time, I'm hoping I'll be
Freaking
strong
hell.
enough to skip it.
Anthony, I want commitment from you right here. We're here for you.
Okay,
I
dude, I'll
want
skip it.
commitment.
I'll skip it.
There you go. We've lost DS too. His camera's gone.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's back.
I like the fact that this the first. Uh-oh. I like the fact that this the first Batman that Hot Toys done that actually has a posable head and neck. Like I don't know what they were
Yes.
thinking with the other ones.
Just
Oh, it's
being
accurate,
lazy.
right? With the Keaton suit, he couldn't pose his neck either. He just had to go like this to see anything.
That's so true. I honestly think they overhyped the movie and did too many
Yeah,
free
going like
screenings. I actually
this.
enjoyed it overall. Yeah. And look, he's saying that.
Look, DS is imitating Keaton, watching, looking up.
I think often makes a good point there. Like, I still enjoyed it. It was still fun. Oh, shit. He's gone full Keaton.
And he's freezing.
And he's
Never go
freezing.
for a Keaton.
Just it. Never go full
Uh-oh.
Keaton. No need for this Batman here for me. 89, yes, but not this one. And look,
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck I thought was a great part of the movie. But we get we get that action sequence, then we get Gal Gadot showing up, which I did not expect.
Yeah,
But that
me
was
neither.
so she's shown up in Shazam, she's showing up in this. And then but just for like a brief second.
Oh!
Then we get into the story.
Yeah.
And then we get into the story. Now, this is what I wanted to say to you guys. I enjoyed these parts.
Yeah.
The
me
stuff
too.
about his family and his mum and everything that happened. I could have had the movie him just trying to solve the murder. That would have been cool for me. But Anthony, what did you think of this part of the film? Because it's probably my favorite parts.
I think you're right. And I think that's kind of what I mean with it seemed like or it felt like the movie couldn't decide on its tone. Maybe it just tried to be too many movies. Maybe it would have worked better for me if it was two movies. First, the one until they find that they're not looking for Superman, with her being the bad evil and just destroying everything. And then, like the second movie, going from that. Maybe that would have been better. I think it just tried to do too much, and in wanting to do that, it did too little for me. But yeah, I enjoyed these parts.
I wonder if this movie has a ton of cut footage that would have really filled out the storyline.
Yeah, because they said it was like 4 hours originally,
Hmm.
so they had to cut like.
I want to see
4
that
hours?
version.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to see that version. I'm always a big believer of more. Give us more time to have more story, more moments of this stuff of him trying to uncover. I don't know. I think what would have been better. I think
dude,
some
what
of
is
the stuff-
DS changing it now? Is he changing into a scroll now?
He's scrolling. He's
No,
literally.
man, that's my
scrolling in
camera
and
is
out.
acting stupid, man, or actually my connection or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think so. I think all of your Wi-Fi is going to your mic. It's trying to tell John something.
hey, they tell you on YouTube, no matter how bad your picture quality is, the sound must be good. So hey,
Yeah,
that's the best.
hey.
That's the good part then.
And your sound is good, dude.
Your sound is good, almost as good as mine. It's definitely getting up there.
Dude, it runs laps around yours. DS should change his name to On Your Left.
Damn it! Okay, Luminar is in the
know
house.
what-
What's going on? Thank you for being here. Oh, she gets the hawk intro.
As far as this stuff right here, John, you was asking, this is actually what made the movie for me though. I mean, if I ignore everything
Yeah.
else, just look at the basic storyline and plot.
Yeah.
By the end, I was like, man, that was a really hitting movie. I guess we'll get to the end when we get there, but yeah.
Yeah.
The story,
Yeah.
this part of the story was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed these moments. The stuff when it went back into him, the reason for doing all this and all these moments, I quite enjoyed. I thought it was really well told. It's so odd they didn't give any hint of Reverse Flash in all these flashback time travel scenes with her dying.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
kind of retell how time travel works. So it's not like the CW Flash, where it's kind of linear, right? Where you have like a butterfly effect, and if you change something, future you changes something, the past changes also. But that's why you get the spaghetti bowl intro.
I think
But it's
they,
just all different worlds, so it doesn't have to change.
I think they might have messed up some things. I think even somebody said that too. They kind of was kind of trying. It's like certain things they did because they knew they wasn't sure if this movie was going to be a success
Yeah,
or not. They
yeah.
didn't want to put too much stuff in there to make you think it was going to be like a part 2 or a part 3. But I think the director said they purposely left out any like hints of Reverse Flash. You just assume people who are fans of the character, they just
They'll
assume
know.
he did it. But even in this, the way when he went back to stop her from dying, all he did was move what is it, tomato bottle.
Tomato,
And-
yeah.
And I think most people asking like, how does that stop Reverse Flash from not killing his mom? He don't care if his father was there; he'd have killed her anyway. So that's the whole thing. Like that didn't make sense to me. Like, okay, him doing that is not gonna stop Reverse
Yeah.
Flash, because the whole purpose of Reverse Flash killing his mom was not only kill her, but to also frame his dad for it. So he still would have did it.
It's actually a really fantastic story. Like, it's a great premise for a superhero origin story. I really am intrigued, and I think that's what I kind of wanted more. I think going into it, I wanted that side of it more so than bringing in other Batmans and doing the No Way Home thing. It almost felt kind of, in a way, we're doing a No Way Home thing by bringing Michael Keaton back in. Like, this
Yeah.
was their last
Yeah.
chance to bring him in. That's
They were
kind of what
doing
it
No
felt.
Way Home. Yeah, and maybe that also made the movie a lot more meh for me, because it's like the third movie or the fourth movie. I think it's the fourth, right? Doing the multiverse thing in yet a different way, but less. It's kind of like the first Justice League for me, maybe. Where DC wanted to do what Marvel was doing, but Marvel was building it up for 10 years, and DC thought, oh, we can do it in one movie. That would be fine.
You know the crazy thing? If this movie had come back out when it was filmed, it would have been ahead of those other multiverse movies.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, because it was the first one.
That's insane. That would have been a lot better, dude.
So think about it. If this had released back then, it would have been before Across the Spider-Verse, been before Into the Spider-Verse, been before bloody...
every single one of them.
Yeah. So really, whilst we're looking at it as it's copying those things, it was actually before No Way Home. No Way Home's
That's what
probably feeding
this
off
whole
that.
book is based on right here.
Yeah.
Time travel
Marvel
in
the villains.
multiple timelines.
Oh shit! Marvel the villains. They got ahead. They secretly someone Ezra's a scroll. Oh shit! Implanted by Marvel.
Well,
They made him go off, go skits in real life, so they could derail the Flash, so they could get No Way Home out first and be the first ones to do it. Boom. That's my theory. All right, well, let's move on to the next bit. Now, this bit I thought looked cool, but I want to get your guys' opinion on the Speed Force run. Were you happy with it as a fan of the Flash DS? Were you happy with how they portrayed this part of the story?
Me or Anthony?
Let's go you
You.
first. As our
The expert
guest.
first.
I thought the Speed Force scene and how they did it was dope. How they had the whole Coliseum with the different parts in the timeline. I thought all that was dope. It was sick. The way he ran into it, how he has the little bubble, even how he can like stick his head out and body and look at like different moments in time and actually be there when it's happening.
That's cool.
All that was dope. He even did that in BVS. Remember the scene when he came back to talk to Bruce?
Mm-hmm. He did.
I like how they kind of like played on what he did in that movie. But the special effects for it was kind of like lackluster though. So it kind of like killed it.
Yeah, so the stuff in the background. So when he's running, right? I think this picture here, I think that looks sick. When you're looking at the memories. Now, I've heard people say that on shows and things that the director intended to have the sequences not look realistic and look like this, but it almost looks like it was trying to be realistic and failing at being realistic. Is like because that's another thing that threw me. The CGI in those moments, I just thought looked a little strange. Now, do you think they were going for that specific look, or do you think it's just bad CGI, like just a bad decision? Like, because I can't figure out.
I think it was bad CGI, and I think the directors tried to clean it up by saying, "Oh no, that's how it was meant to look."
It could be that. Anthony, do you agree? What do you think?
To be honest, this part didn't bother me. Because who's to say what it looks like if you're running a Speed Force? Or they called it like the Chrono Globe or something. So I didn't mind it. The only part I did mind that it kind of felt like a Harry Potter movie when he was in it. So it felt just like a different movie then. But I like the idea of you just seeing your stuff and picking and choosing and going.
Instead of seeing like all of time. That makes sense because you
Yeah.
can only see what's relative to you, right? I would think. Yeah, I thought this bit looked cool. It's just those other elements just kind of threw me a bit with the special effects. So we'll move on to the next picture, which is him. He basically goes, he meets the other Barry. He starts realizing things have changed and then loses his power. So I didn't know any of this was going to happen going into the story. But before we do, let's just see what the guys are saying in the chat.
Yeah.
Often was saying that I've infected your internet now, DS, so I apologize. So they didn't give a hint of it. Oh, yeah, so we saw that. Yep, often noticed that. And you need to read Flashpoint Batman, Iron Logan. Bruce died, not the parents. I did know that. And Thomas Wayne became Batman and Martha became the Joker. Yeah, I did know of that storyline. I haven't read it, but I do know of that. That's a pretty cool storyline. Helen says, it might just be me, but I thought it was a shame we didn't get a proper Cyborg cameo. Wasn't he meant to be a major character in this movie before all the stuff with Fisher and Whedon went down? I'm assuming it's what happened with Warner Brothers and Whedon and him as to why he probably wasn't in the film, I'm imagining.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to be in Flashpoint, and then he was supposed to get, well, not Flash, whatever they call this movie. He was originally supposed to be in the Flash, and then he was supposed to get his own solo movie, and they yanked all that once he started accusing Whedon. And then it turned out what he was saying was true, though. So, what the hell?
Yeah, I wonder what that's going to do to his career. Because even though he's right, he's probably going to be looked at as a troublemaker.
I don't know, because Gal Gadot and a few others came out and backed him up. It was like, yeah, Whedon was trash. So it's like,
yeah. Well, Whedon got cancelled. I'm pretty sure he got cancelled by the mainstream media. Where are we? Sorry, I didn't read this. AJ says, plus Thomas is on the same level as the Punisher. Damn, he was ruthless. That was an L comment from the director. Yeah. And often also says, Flashpoint and Secret Invasion are actually books I've read multiple times, and they're out around the same time. Wow, what a coincidence.
Wow.
And Kagi says, one time I fell and told everyone it was on purpose. Is that the same as the director telling people the questionable CGI is intentional? That kind of makes sense. The Kagi for the win.
Hey, that's a good one.
Now, what did you guys think? So when he's in this other world, the story, look, I enjoyed it. Like, in saying all that, all the stuff that I was annoyed at, regards to how some things been done, it was still a fairly enjoyable watch. But part of this, as we're talking about it now, is I was almost like, do I even care now, knowing that is not like it's the end of the Snyderverse? Basically, it's not going to continue on. I want to know what you guys thought of that as well. Did you think, like, when you were watching it, did you think doesn't matter how good it is because he's not going to be Flash anymore anyway? Like, he's done. He ain't coming back as the Flash.
Well,
Did that impact you at all?
Anyway, I only went to see it as a standalone movie because I like Flash and I like the Flashpoint storyline.
Yeah.
So I kind of just want to see what they did with that. But outside of that, I knew the Snyderverse is over. So, like I said, I took this as a standalone movie. Flashpoint,
if they knew that when they made it, I wonder if they would have made it the 4-hour film and added all those extra things. Would have been interesting, knowing, like, looking in hindsight, looking back, because they're making it thinking they're going to make more and holding back on things, as you said, Anthony. I wonder if, I wish they would just go all in.
To be honest, I don't know if this is going to be the last. I don't know if this movie is not going to be relevant for the Gunverse, because they must have delayed for a reason, and obviously they didn't delay it to get the CGI better. So I kind of felt like they knew James Gunn was going to be on, and they delayed it because they wanted to know what he was going to do. Well, at least I hope that's why they did. I don't know.
I think a lot of it was holding it because of his stuff, his crimes that he was being charged for, and all the negative press around him.
Yeah, they was doing damage control.
Yeah, yeah. That would make sense.
But
then
Gunn
it's probably a combination of both things.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say Gunn pretty much said the first movie in his universe is gonna be Superman. So this movie has nothing to do with stuff he's doing.
Yeah. Often says if it was Bale and not Keaton, this would have been $1 billion film. Oh, yeah, Bale wouldn't have done it though.
I better keep quiet.
Wildcard DS.
I can't stand Bale's Batman.
Oh,
why not?
Shit.
Why not? DS, why are you here?
Why DS? It's weird we still got Aquaman 2. Look, I'm still hyped for Aquaman 2. I hope they get to finish it properly because I loved Aquaman. It's one of my favorites. Damn it. Let's hear it. No.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it, DS.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna change my name. It's gonna be what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Birdman? No, Batman. I'm Batman. Hey, y'all should go watch Batman on YouTube. How did Batman get his name?
Oh shit. Jay's about to get nuts on you. Speaking of let's get nuts.
So this part of the story, I liked it.
Yeah.
Look, they're going for quirky Flash, and they got Ezra Miller to do it. Ezra Miller is quirky. Like I said, for me this was like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bill and Ted's Bodacious Adventure, and I think there's a whole generation that doesn't know the Bill and Ted movies, so for them this might be new. For me, this kind of felt nostalgic because of it, which was funny, and he looks weird as well. When I was looking at Ezra Miller, I really don't dislike Ezra Miller. I kind of like him, really. I was looking at him and I thought, dude, this man is beautiful, but he looks like an alien. And it fits the quirky character that they're going for in this movie, I feel.
Hey, did y'all peep what he said? When he was like, "Oh my God, you are annoying." I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
he's an annoying character."
Yeah,
he's self-aware.
Yeah, I
look,
thought that was
all
cool.
the characters he plays. Oh, sorry.
No, hey, if you notice in the music, what was they at? What were they at in that building where he lost his powers and he started running in the circle and they show how goofy he looked?
That was hilarious.
They know that Grunt is goofy.
Yeah, I think so too. So that's why I think that they did that part well. I think the whole Ezra Miller versus Ezra Miller I think that was a pretty good part of the movie for me.
Yeah, that was well done.
And like I was saying, I think all characters Ezra Miller plays are a bit quirky or offbeat. Um, and I've said before, I don't think there are a lot of awesome actors anymore, just a lot of great casting directors, because I think there are a lot of similarities between the characters he plays and himself. So that's why they chose him, I guess. And for the
Yeah, he
comedic
seems.
parts, it worked for me.
Yeah,
I think
I
somebody
agree.
said
I like those
earlier.
bits.
Somebody said earlier when he was being serious, he was actually cool, and I agree with that. When he was when older Barry
Yeah.
actually got serious and was
Hmm.
taking everything serious, he actually did a pretty good job, especially when he was talking to his younger self, trying to
Yeah,
correct him.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
only
agree.
thing
I thought
that annoyed me was his voice, because it's kind of so.
mm,
But
that was a
other than that,
great rendition.
I'm cool with Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I did enjoy. I enjoyed this whole part of him losing his powers and having to like try to train up this other version of himself. I agree. I thought that bit was cool. Helen says, I was expecting the end of this movie would be setting up the rebooted DCU. I assumed this was part of the delays. Kind of expected Flashpoint was going to see a new Flash emerge to replace Ezra. Yes, I think
Like Grant
I
Gustin.
agree with some of that. I agree with some of that. Um, I think so too. But I think a lot of it was just coincidence. You know, you had all the personal stuff that he was going through. You had the whole change up at Warner Brothers. I think there was a lot of things into play.
They said
Um,
they said the reason they put what's his name at the end as Batman, George Clooney,
mm,
is because into the next universe, the DCU. Because originally they had shoots where they had they like reshot the end like 3 or 4 times because they didn't know which direction the movie
mm,
was gonna go. And once they decided it wasn't gonna be a part of the DCU, that's why they used
mm,
George Clooney. Because people asked like, was George
yeah,
Clooney gonna be the new Batman in the DCU? And they was like, nah, we
mm,
recasting everybody. So we just
yeah,
did that as as to throw him in the movie, get him a spot in the movie since
yeah.
they
It's
had
just
all
an
these other
Easter egg.
cameos.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just an Easter egg.
when you think about it, they just sidetracked Flash to another universe, to another
Pretty
spaghetti
much, they
strand.
kicked him
That's what I
out.
did. Yeah, I just kicked him out.
Let's just
You,
pretend that universe don't exist anymore, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. This is a different
I bet you.
universe with George Clooney. Bye bye.
Yeah, they put George Clooney in. Yeah, they won't put Grant Gustin in. That's hilarious.
But
Hilarious.
maybe, well, to be fair, sometimes people don't appear in the movie because of scheduling conflicts. I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that's the reason,
Oh, God,
because
it's a pretty
everyone
bad
loves
reason.
him, right?
Yeah. Now, Gunn did say Blue Beetle is the first character of the DCU. I did watch that. I watched James Gunn actually on Michael Rosenbaum's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hey,
Insider
I watched that
podcast.
show too.
yeah.
Yeah, I
That
watched
was
that
cool.
show. It's cool. And he said Blue Beetle is the first character, but DCU Superman will be the first film. So that's cool
Yeah,
that Blue Beetle will be a character because I like that kid from Cobra Kai. He's cool. That's what I
They
mean
left Blue
because the
Beetle.
target audience.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Sorry.
just gonna say they wrote Blue Beetle, so it's not connected to anything. So basically, if it
Mm,
wanted to be a part of the old universe or the new universe, it could go either way because they didn't really connect it to
yeah.
anything.
I tell you, it's facing an uphill battle to see if it'll be profitable or not. The way DC films are going, if this movie can't even draw in a big opening weekend, I don't know how Blue Beetle's going to do. Oh, sorry, what did AJ say here? So he said, sorry, often that's what I mean because the target audience were too young to know about Keaton. Yeah, so that probably definitely didn't help. DS and I are on the same page about Batman, but I do like Bale too. Most Batman actors have had an interesting and valuable take on the character. Nice point, AJ. I like that.
I got you,
When he was talking to his mum for the last time, he's a good actor. Yeah, that whole scene, I've got a picture of that actually, which I'll skip to in just a
man. I
second.
choked up.
Anthony was definitely crying. DS, that was me since DS
pansies.
and I are on the same page. If I need a proxy for the future streams, I know who to call. Nice.
Hey.
On the
Got you.
same page. That. Oh yeah. That said, I want Sasha Calais. I think it's Calais to be part of New Venice. I don't think she. Well, then again, who knows? I doubt it though. Only thing I had issue with is he moved the tomatoes up basically, not learning anything from what just happened. He
Yeah,
literally still changed something.
Hey, if y'all know anything about the Flash, he's
Hashtag
known
Flash.
to f up a timeline or two. He never learns his lesson, even on CW.
Okay, good to know that. But then we get to obviously Michael Keaton. Now we've got 4 pictures left to go through. So Keaton comes in. The whole explanation of the timelines was pretty cool. It was nostalgic for him coming in. He's still a great actor. I quite like him as an actor. He'll always
And he
be
has some good
Beetlejuice to
fighting
me as
scenes
well.
too.
He did.
Yeah,
All
that kind of
stuff
bothered
was
me though. Is that
because he's in
allowed?
his 70s.
Yeah.
Because he's in
I
his
mean,
70s.
like, if he's 70, just make the guy 70, dude. He's rich as hell. He would make up
Hey,
with it with the gadgets.
you just said it. He rich as hell. He can afford to get juiced up to fight like that.
Yeah,
there's also
no.
that.
I would have loved, like, with Batman Beyond, just make this an old Batman. With all his shortcomings. But just be badass with all the
But
stuff.
see, here's the problem though. If they would have just stayed true to the comic, they would have had an older, where it's supposed to be in his father. But they had an
Yeah.
older Bruce who was still able to fight because in the Flashpoint cartoon and comic, Thomas Wayne was like the commenter said earlier. He was like the Punisher. He was vicious. So they had to have a scene in the movie where they had the alternate Batman doing all this stuff you seen the other Flash doing. It just so happened they made it be Michael Keaton and his Batman.
Yeah, I'm fine with being vicious and being badass, but just the way that he was jumping all over and being flexible as hell, I thought,
Yeah.
that's a bit too much, dude.
Yeah,
He's a
it
ninja.
was over the top.
He's
He
still
wasn't
got-
even like that when he was young, like you did. This is
Hey.
Batman, just going, yeah, like that. And now all of a sudden he's like a cat. He's like an attack cat. Damn.
Look, he's been
Juice.
doing some yoga, guys. Come on.
It was the
Eight
suit,
balls.
man.
It was the suit.
exactly. He's doing
Want to
yoga
get
and he got a
juiced?
new
Let's
suit.
get juiced. Let's get jacked.
Let's get juiced. So then they go on the mission. He says no, but then 2 seconds later he says yes because he's a nice guy.
Yes.
Got to move the plot along.
And then we meet Supergirl. So I want to know, coming into this final part of the movie, we meet Supergirl, the battle, Michael, forgetting his name, Michael Sheen, no, Zod, I'm forgetting his Michael Shannon shows up.
Shannon,
What did you
yeah.
guys think about bringing that part of the universe back and not have Henry Cavill in it, but have this part?
I was cool.
Yeah.
I like.
You were cool with that?
I liked all that. Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
tied everything. It tied it into Man of Steel,
Yeah.
but it's also showing that this is a different timeline. So instead of them finding Superman, they found his cousin, and then they explained what happened to Superman. I thought it was cool. I mean, it's not directly faithful to the comic, but it don't have to be. It still was cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool too.
I liked it because it showed how much he fucked up the timeline.
Real bad.
But
That's what
also, I didn't like the fact that they had those masks on. I would have loved Michael Shannon just having like a full face because he remind me of the MODOK CGI now in Quantumania. Because it made his
it
face
wasn't
look weird.
It wasn't that bad, man. God, no.
Yeah, that was.
Nothing to ever top that.
But I thought, why? Because he's such a great actor and he has such an imposing face. Just
Yeah,
Have the guy
he's
just-
one of my
just-
favorite actors, man. He's
yeah,
so
just let
good.
him have a few moments. Just throw away the helmet, dude.
Yeah,
Other
it was
than
so
that, I
cool
like
that
him being
he.
there.
It was so cool that in this timeline, like he wins, which makes sense. I mean, she's been she hasn't been out kicking ass. She's been locked up, so she's probably not at full strength. And I like how it tied it in because in Man of Steel, you see there's another pod there that never got you never got the answer in Man of Steel of who was in that pod that was open. So this is kind of a way of saying that, tying that in. I thought that whole part of it worked really well. With bringing her in, and I thought she did a great job. She looked great. Look, will they still do the hot toy? They teased the hot toy, but because the movie is flopped, will they actually release
Yeah,
the
they
hot
will.
toy now?
I don't
They
think they
probably
can cancel
will.
anymore. It's like a long train.
They probably would they probably just won't do any other characters, but they probably won't do Dark Flash now or something like that. But they definitely
Yeah.
probably gonna do her.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
I'm glad that they're going to do.
the thing that was kind of off for me though is that Zod had this whole army with him, and they all had superhuman strength, right? So it felt kind of weird that Supergirl would be the one to defeat the army.
But
Or
did
that,
she?
Yes,
no,
that's the thing. They
but
kept losing.
yeah, but it's kind of weird that she was supposed to fight Zod, and they would fight the rest of them, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
They should have figured that that's not like a possible thing. Just go back into the Chrono Ball and just do it all over.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Which brings us to, I guess, the final battle. So we're missing a lot of story here, but she decides not to help. Then she comes back to help after she sees Zod. She realizes she needs help. I like the setting for that final battle. I thought it was cool to meet when they first come to Earth. That's a cool spot to do it.
Dude, I loved
out in
the
open.
makeshift flash suit of the Batman suit. I want
Hey,
that
you know what?
figure.
It kind of looks like not dark. It kind of looks like one of my favorite Batmans, and that's
Imposter Joker.
no. It's a actual Batman with a suit similar to that. His name is
Oh
Red
yeah,
Death.
yeah, yeah. I saw a figure. Yeah.
Red Death suit is similar to that right there. So that might be a play on that suit because Red Death was a Flash too. Remember,
Hmm.
it was
I
a
never read
Flash
it.
slash Batman combo.
Cool.
Interesting. And funny that his electricity is different color to Flash's now. I
Yeah.
guess they have to do that visually, but
Yeah.
whatever. But that whole end sequence, I quite enjoyed. Like again, it was still an enjoyable movie for me. I just feel like a lot of this multiverse stuff with Batman and that took away a little bit from the personal story of him and his mum and his dad, and I feel like it would have been epic to go down that route a little bit more. But nonetheless, I had no idea what was going to happen when it came to how the movie was going to play out
Yeah.
and
Me neither.
how they kept failing. Although I did catch on when he caught the bit of metal in the arm,
Yeah.
and then he
yeah.
went back that first time. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Well,
Yeah,
you
that was a
gotta
bit
re-
obvious. That was a bit obvious.
You got to remember if they was like to say it's loosely based on Flashpoint. In Flashpoint, it got chaotic like this at the end, and the good guys lost in that movie. So, and honestly, a lot of the bad guys in the original storyline was members of the Justice League. They were the ones destroying the Earth and fighting each other, and all of them eventually killed each other. And that's when Barry realized, like, damn, I really effed up this timeline. I need to go back and fix it. So
It was then that he realized he fucked up.
they put a spin on it for this movie instead of making it Barry. I ain't gonna stick, but they put a spin on it. But I knew this was gonna be like when they kept losing. I'm like, this is what's supposed to happen. So it's one of those fixed points in time where you can't change this outcome because it's fixed. I forgot what they call it in the time travel movies where you got a fixed point that you can't change. So they was always gonna lose.
That's interesting. Like, I don't understand why you can't change it at all. Like, it's something that's bound to happen. That means like there's no free will, right? Like,
Yeah, they
I
got
don't know.
like
Is that
time
weird?
travel movies, man. They got fixed points and then they have paradoxes. It's like the paradox is what drives me crazy. It's like, well, if this happened, how did that happen? Well, that happened because that happened. But who made that happen? Well, that happened because this happened. It's like, okay, you got to start somewhere. But a paradox is like no beginning, no end to it. And
Jesus
I think
Christ.
it's a scapegoat for time travel movies.
Yeah, I guess that's
You
fair
need to have some of those, right?
You need to have
the
something.
spaghetti is one big scapegoat. Nah, dude, it's not the spaghetti strand.
Oh man, often says that she was great. I just didn't like how they kept doing her dirty with her having her die all the time. But I guess that's why it's a canon event. Look, it makes sense. She'd been locked up. I'm okay with her getting her. It's a shame if you want her as a figure and your remembrance of her as getting her ass kicked. But within the story, if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen, right? Just blame Barry. Okagi says when he rips the neck piece out to turn the head. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And the ears.
That's right. AJ says, don't forget Superman had years of exposure to sunlight, which gave him the edge on Zod's group. Supergirl essentially had the same exposure as her enemies. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and
true,
also
too.
he has like 50-ton more muscles.
Yeah. And he's a general in an army. Come on. It's a canon event.
You know what threw me off? When Supergirl was like, I'm not helping y'all, and she flew to Zod, and Zod had to start attacking them. Then she realized he was evil. She flew back to ask them for help. it's like all that happened in like 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, that was real quick. And then they went
Yeah.
right back to the scene to fight Zod and his army. I'm like, damn, that all happened in
Yeah.
like 30 minutes. That's like, y'all
Yeah,
ain't-
so I would have loved it if they ended the movie right there. I'm not helping you. She's kicking their asses. End of movie 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool.
yeah, that pacing
But-
was off.
Yeah.
That pace, and that's probably from cuts. You know, it's crazy when you think about how much stuff can get cut or taken down depending on whatever the reason is. You travel down enough spaghetti, eventually you hit a meatball. Nice, Lugagi. That is
You
fallen.
do hit a meatball. I've done that, so
That's a good one. I've got one more picture, so we know what happens. They keep dying. I didn't know that was going to happen, so that was a cool surprise, and I started figuring it out. But then he goes back in time. Sorry.
no, I wasn't gonna say. I was just gonna say, unfortunately, I knew this was gonna happen, and it still got me.
Yeah, this bit was cool. Like his acting in this and these moments were great, and I thought the mum did a good job too. The lady who
Yeah.
played the mum,
Yeah.
she did great. But yeah, these were my favorite parts of the film. To be fair,
This made the movie for me.
knowing that he had to set her up to die, so the timeline would be thinking that's going to fix the timeline, but then still moving the spaghetti can. It was hilarious though.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
like
to
he
put it
didn't learn
back
his
because it
lesson.
ruins
He
everything.
Still
But
didn't
let me
learn.
move it again. Yeah, I'm just going to move it again so my dad can get off. Yeah, that was intense. But overall, an enjoyable movie. Now, I thought about rating it. I mean, are there any more points that you guys want to add on it? Because we're getting in, we're an hour in, so I think we better move on to Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
But
true.
as an overall, I loved these moments. I'll definitely watch it again when it comes out. If it comes out with lots of behind the scenes stuff, I will still probably be the person who buys the DVD. But for me to kick off the rating of it, I guess, I said to you, Anthony, I think I said a 7, maybe a 7.5, or a 3.5 out of 5, or a 7.5
Yeah.
out of 10, or something like that. It's kind of like I enjoyed it, but I wasn't as invested because of I guess just different variables, from knowing that it's not continuing anymore to some of the choices they made to not really liking Ezra Miller that much. Lots of little things played a part for me, but enjoyable, just not a 10 out of 10. That's for sure. Not the greatest comic book movie of all time. Maybe if it came out when they filmed it back then, it would have changed everything, because then Marvel would have been copying them when it came to No Way Home. and
Yeah,
things
but
like
that's
that.
just a small part of it, to be honest. That's not.
Yeah, of course.
Why
That
this
didn't
one?
change my viewing experience. Yeah, it didn't change
Yeah.
my viewing experience at all. So, Anthony, what would you rate it? We'll finish
Yeah,
with
like I
DS,
said,
I'm sure
this
everyone's
is
been 10 out
for
of 10.
me. This is a maximum of 7 out of 10. It had 9 moments. It had 4 out of 10 moments. I felt the tone changed a bit too much. I think it didn't know what movie it wanted to be, or it wanted to do a bit too much. So I like 7.
Yeah, okay. What about you,
Tomato
DS?
cans.
Tomato
Me,
cans.
well, y'all going too high for me. 10 is too high. I can't go that high in numbers.
Oh, go ahead,
Only have 5 fingers.
Right, I only got 5 fingers, man. Y'all messing with me. No,
I would have been about 3 or 5. 3 or 5.
Yeah, out of my on my original video, my little hit piece, I gave it 3 out of 5, but it flows somewhere for me 2.5 to 3 out of 5.
Enjoyable, but you mean you'll watch it again when it comes out on digital,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
a
I watched
person
it
who likes to
again.
go
Like
back
I
and-
said,
yeah.
the end of the movie made the rest of the movie feel somewhat better. So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely watch it again. Only because I'm
Yeah.
dumb and I'm a Flash fan. I was dumb enough to watch season 9 of the CW show. So
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I think it's still worth rewatching. Like, I think it's one of those movies you can still have fun with and enjoy if you go back and rewatch the Snyder films, because I'll always go back and rewatch them. I've got love for those films. I love the Wonder Woman. The Man of Steel is one of my favorites. All of those movies, I still enjoy them.
yeah, I love the Snyderverse.
This is, yeah. So it will still be an addition that I will have into the collection.
Yeah, so I heard that, and I saw that DS heard that too. But we let it slide. But of course, Alvin didn't.
I heard it. I heard it. Then I saw when Austin said it. I laughed out loud too. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw you.
3.5 for often. So we're all around the same.
Yeah.
I'm like a 7 to 5 out of 10. Yep, says AJ. Often says lesson learned: never watch a film with Anthony. He's that guy who takes
Yeah,
a film.
so actually I'm
He's
not
that
that guy, but when I do, there's a problem with the movie, I think. I think it says
Yeah.
something about movie.
It takes you out of it.
Yeah.
So Helen's about a 7.5. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
We're all
spaghetti.
about the same.
Yeah.
And then the Kagi, I give it a 10 out of 10. For Nick Cage. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. I didn't even use the I didn't have any pictures.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
matter.
didn't
Doesn't
have the
matter.
Nick-
Cameos
yeah.
were cool. Yeah.
Those
Nick Cage
cameos
cameo
were
was
terrible.
cool.
So
Yeah.
Those were pretty cool.
They were.
Those were pretty cool.
they were
So
cool.
yeah,
but looked
overall looked terrible. Yeah, and that's a shame. I wonder if that would have changed the conversation, because a lot of people, the conversation is how bad the CGI is. If that wasn't an issue, it would have given them one less thing to talk about. A lot of those, a lot of review channels and things like that. So it's a shame that they didn't touch it up and put that little bit of extra money into it. Very strange. But we did get to see Nick Cage fight a spider, and that was pretty cool. And probably a dream come true for him, because he loves Superman.
Yeah,
He definitely,
he does.
He does. He
I saw
does,
a couple
right?
interviews. He was hyped to do the role, but they never let him do it. So
Yeah. And I'm glad they didn't. He does not look the part. He's not a Superman. He doesn't look like Superman. Anyway, that is the end of The Flash. So let me just give us a brief second, guys. I'm going to remove those pictures. DS is changing out of his Flash outfit to ready to put his Secret Invasion outfit on.
I got to go get my leather jacket now for my Nick Fury impression.
I'll get my eye patch. Now, you've obviously watched Secret Invasion, DS?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Well, everybody in the chat, have you seen it? Let us know if you have or have not seen it, because we're about to talk about it. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to.
Dude, this is Orphan's 4-hour stream, right?
This is his 4-hour stream.
This is going to
Poor
take a lot
Anthony.
of time. Yeah.
He's not going to sleep. I'm getting a bit of white noise in the background. Is that any of you guys?
Oh yeah, it's a fan.
Oh,
So,
the fan.
every
That's
now
how
and then
loud
I
your
have
fan
to.
is?
So every now and then I have to mute myself so I'm able to turn on the fan, and then turn
Oh
the
my
fan
God.
off again when I
You're that
want
hot.
to turn the mic on. Yeah, it's that hot, dude.
Hey,
See,
Anthony,
you got-
actually, I had to turn my air conditioner off so it wouldn't be a distraction, but I really want to turn it back on.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You guys are soft. You guys call me soft when it comes. You guys call me soft when it comes to the cold. I'm calling you guys soft when it comes to the heat. You sit there and you sweat. I was sweating in my jacket for you, Anthony. Sweating in my jacket.
Hey, I could deal with the
In
cold.
summer.
I was born in Chicago, so
Dude, you were wearing the jacket long before the Jacket Brothers, so you're just sweating for yourself.
Look, that's neither here nor there. Look,
I think you have a jacket fetish, to be
trademark,
honest.
son.
I don't have a jacket fetish, you bastard.
Do you have like 20 of those, or is it like the same jacket every show?
Go to your room. Go to your room, Anthony.
That's his trademark, man.
Yeah.
He got to keep the jacket on.
Yeah.
We've got to keep it on now, bro. We've got to keep it on. All right,
Hashtag
now let's
John
kick in the.
Jacket.
He's going undercover
Check
for his
out the Lake
ISB
Front
agent.
Step. Oh yeah. See, I've heard about this, the death of Superman. I do need to watch that, the Kevin Smith film.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see. Sleepy Man and Superman. Yeah, he did. It looked a little funny.
That kind
Oh,
of
Andre hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it either. We don't have AC in Europe. Unlucky.
This comment right here is funny.
Yes, they're not soft, John. It's like their microphone pickup sounds like fans.
Dude, play Logan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Play Logan.
Here we go.
Oh, that's hot.
F you.
Yeah. Roast
Yes,
comment
you
guy is back again.
Go to your room. Often. Andre,
Naughty
you're
stuff.
welcome. Oh, Jesus. John will be wearing a Bintang singlet during the summer. No, I will not. No, I will not. All right, let's kick into it then. These guys needing sleep, so let's get into Secret Invasion because I feel like there's also quite a bit to cover in Secret Invasion, but we'll try and keep it as quick as we can.
Yeah.
Anthony, I think you are the man to kick this off because I think you have a lot of exciting insights. Do you want to kick off starting with the start of the show, or do you want to kick off just giving your initial thoughts on it? Maybe just give us an intro.
Yeah. So initial thought. I think this show will be awesome for the rundown. I think this is like between Andor and Moon Knight, where we got like little hints to get us to know what we need to know, and it's kind of like a mystery puzzle again, and a CIA thriller, where you don't know what you can trust. You don't know who to trust, and you don't know what you can trust of the things you're seeing. I'm really hoping it's going that way, and I think it is. My only regret is that it's only going to be 6 episodes, so you already know that they won't do a lot of things that used to come with Secret Invasion. So you need to not get your hopes up that they're going to do the complete Secret Invasion. Or
I'm excited by the length of the
Drew,
episodes.
Yeah, true.
Length of the episodes, we might get more than what we think. But 6 episodes, yeah, that's not a lot. 6 hours, though.
Think about it. They do movies in 2.5 to 3 hours, so you basically getting 6 hours. If they can't tell a good story in 6 hours, then
yeah,
you can tell a good story, but not Secret Invasion in 6 hours. So.
You think they did it in movie form? They could tell the whole story because that would be less hours to tell the story.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think they would be able to do it in a movie either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have this in like 9 or 12 episodes. Secret Invasion. I'm really looking forward to delving into it.
Yeah, and I think it's actually going to connect to a lot that's going to affect the new Captain America movie and a lot of I think this is going to play a big part in a lot of things happening, especially if they're going to go back and say certain people are Skrulls and things like that. I think it's going to have more of an impact than what we think on the overall story of Marvel phase. Phase 5 now?
Yeah, so I don't know. It feels like they have a lot of big stories in the air for this phase and the second phase.
Wait, is this the start of Phase 5? Am I forgetting? Is this the start?
The start was
Ant-Man, right?
Ant-Man.
That was the start. I thought it was the end
Yeah.
of Phase 4.
No, Ant-Man was the start. The end of Phase 4 was Black Panther.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay, sorry. Yes, Anthony.
The start was supposed to be Quantumania. Quantumania was supposed to give us this more serious, darker phase of the universe, and we get Murdoch, or whatever his name is.
MODOK, yeah.
So, yeah, so much for that start.
Yeah, that didn't happen. But so you have the multiverse and time travel in the one hand, which is huge.
Yeah.
And then you have Secret Invasion as well. So there's a lot of big things happening. But I really like that we're going to Secret Invasion now because of a couple of things. First of all, the scale went up and up and up. So we went from Avengers and New York level, we went to national level, we went to the space, and then to the multiverse, and now we're going back again down to the street level because you don't know who to trust anymore. So I love that.
But I like street level stories, so
Sorry?
I do like street level stories.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
And second of all, I love the fact that we had Miss Marvel being chronologically the first movie of the MCU. And they're kind of saying that the Skrulls have been here for 30 years now. So every movie we've seen could have a Skrull in it.
Yeah.
Which I really like when movies do that.
But I hope they don't use the scroll as scapegoats to like
True.
go back
True,
and
true, true.
just change stuff for no reason or to try to clean up stuff that they know they messed up. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they knew in advance who they're going to use. But I was kind of thinking when we were going to in this stream to do like a scroll bingo, or to scroll or not to scroll, or no scroll, yes scroll, just to walk by the characters that are scrolls, because I don't think, and this is what I mean with the 6 episodes, I don't think they will be going into super scrolls. So I think scrolls will not have superhero powers. So that kind of means that every normal human being, or maybe human beings or superpowers that are only have to do with superhuman strength, those can be Skrulls, and superheroes won't be able to be Skrulls, I think. So it's kind of limited to the regular people, I think.
Well, some of them kind of had some superpowers in this movie, not like shooting beams and nothing, but super strength. Like
Yeah, that's what I said.
super
Superhuman strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
superhuman strength. Yeah, I
because
think.
like even if this picture that John got up, like they had my man right here is a Skrull, and I'm like, well, when did he become a Skrull? Because it couldn't have been doing Black Panther because they operated on him, and if he was a Skrull at that time, they would have found that out when they was.
That's a
when
good
the
one.
Jury was
Yeah.
operating on him to fix him when he was supposed to die.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
think
the
this
part-
was just someone pretending to be him for this show. That's how I took it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I love. That's what I love. You just know that every regular human being and some human beings who have superhuman strength can be a Skrull, but you don't know when the switch is made or when the switch is going to be made. That's the part I love, and that's why this is perfect.
Yeah, see, I think
For doing
that my interpretation of Ross, I felt like that wasn't Ross. I felt like that was someone pretending to be Ross to uncover it. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just how I took it
When?
at the start of the show. So
Oh
at the
yeah,
start, I
yeah.
just
No,
thought-
of course, that's
yeah.
clear. This is not Ross,
Yeah.
of course. And like
Yeah.
Diaz said, they operated on him in Wakanda, so we also know that
Yeah.
that wasn't Ross. So somewhere between that, they took him.
Yeah, because he was on the run at the end of Wakanda Forever, right? Because he got broken.
Uh,
He got broken out
Yeah,
by.
he went on the run.
Yeah. So I think this was just someone pretending to be him for sure. I just want to see what these guys are saying in the chat. So Helen says the first episode gave a Captain America Winter Soldier vibes. Yes,
Yeah, I get
and that's
that.
one of my
I get
favorite.
that because it's
And that's
grittier,
why I
and I
love
love
it.
that. Yeah,
I love
except for the intro.
it. Yeah, the Power
The
Broker.
intro. Yeah, sorry.
Which intro? The actual intro theme.
The
Yeah,
intro was supposed to be done by AI.
So the green
a lot of
AI
people
intro
upset
scene,
about
I
that.
was so disinterested in it that I didn't even look at it, to be honest. It did give us a couple of clues when I rewatched the series second time, but the first time I just skipped it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it but didn't really pay attention.
Oh,
often
it
says
was
the
pretty
Power
cool
Broker.
to see.
It was okay. I'll watch it again.
Yeah, so often I said this before stream. I already said in Winter Soldier when Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier series was done, that Sharon Carter had this line, and it was so off character that it was definitely
Yeah.
that she's a Skrull, because they said
think she's
she
definitely a
sa-
Skrull.
Yeah, she said we have access to this now, and that's what I. Looking back at the beginning, at the stupid AI beginning, it was kind of a cool beginning, to be honest, because it had like a pawn change into a queen, change into a king, and it kind of represents that the Skrulls set out these pawns, and they try to promote these pawns into important positions. And once a pawn promotes, it becomes like a whole other chess piece, which can actually do stuff and be very important. Even to the point to it becoming a king. Well, in chess you can't, but in the series obviously you can. So they showed that, which to me represents that the pawn is going to become the president, but also other people. So that I like the search.
Yeah,
Finding
I definitely think so. So we've covered that. Quantumania was street level stuff. Often says, yeah, that's why I love Netflix Defenders, and all the street level stuff. I think when the stakes are smaller, like the whole Flash thing, if it had just been about him trying to figure out who killed his mum, I would have been happy with that. I don't need it to be end of the world. I love the street level stuff, the espionage stuff. Just feels more. Feels like the stakes are higher. I don't know what he's saying there. Jar Coles in chains. I don't know what that is. Often,
But first, the graphic
forgetting.
one, because that's like
Okay.
an important one. I did not pick up on Graphic B and Super Scroll, because Super Scroll basically means that it's a scroll that can also mimic the powers of superheroes, and I did not get that he was able to do it. To be
I
honest,
thought Skrulls couldn't imitate the all the powers of superheroes. That's how you can identify them if they are pretending to be a certain superhero, because they can't
no. So
do the same powers.
so the regular scrolls they couldn't, but then you got Super Scrolls, and Super Scrolls could imitate like any superpower, and they could make like a mix of any superpower. So that's why I'm saying we're not going to get the whole Secret Invasion, because like there's also a difference. We're not going to discuss the comics too much, but the things that will not be a spoiler, we can, right? Because Black Widow was the one in the comics that actually came up with the perfect way to identify Skrulls. She said, I'm just going to shoot someone. If it bleeds red, and he says, dude, what are you doing? It's not a Skrull. If it bleeds purple and it's going after me and it wants to kill me, it's a Skrull. So that was an easy way to do it. But in this series, they bleed up red. So they don't bleed purple, so that option is off the table.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting that they're doing that. Aren't Skrulls naturally stronger than humans?
They are,
asks
a
Butch.
lot. But they can't
we
imitate
kinda see.
other superpowers. It's just so they could imitate Steve Rogers that way because his superpower is superhuman strength, right? And being like a tactician.
Yeah.
They could do that. But other superheroes, and of course
don't
they
think
could do Rhodey, because Rhodey isn't super smart. He just wears suits. I
Yeah.
kind of feel that's going to go into Armor Wars, but I didn't see any trailers of it, so I don't know if I'm missing something there.
I don't think so.
Why not though?
And then
I think Rhodey is one, and then
I don't think
Tony-
Rhodey is. I think the president is that he was talking to in this episode. I think Rhodey's still Rhodey. I don't think Rhodey's a
Yeah, I
Skrull.
don't think so. I think Rhodey is one, and I think the vice president will be one. I think they will kill the president and then move up the vice president to be president.
Not the fan of the intro, says Renz. Yeah, because the AI. I feel you, friends. This supposedly ties to Armor Wars. Yeah, so I
That
think
makes
it will.
sense for me.
Yeah.
Because if
so we kick off.
if Rhodey is a Skrull, they're just gathering Stark Tech now for the Skrulls.
Okay, all right. That'd be interesting to see if that develops. We do need to set up a scroll bingo to see who is who.
Yeah.
I think that will be more prevalent as it goes on. But as a first intro to the show, I feel like they covered a lot in that first hour
Yeah.
because you get
Yeah.
you get this little exposition from this guy. He gives a little monologue of what's going on, and then we get confused straight away. Obviously, with them fighting, and then a beautiful composition here by.
Oh, can we go back? Can we go back to the first one? So that's why I'm saying this is going to be like a long stream. So the thing that I love about this series already is that I get the feeling that, as with Moon Knight, that a lot of words, sentences, or little things you don't pick up at the point that you're seeing it do have a lot of meaning. I said with Moon Knight that it didn't have a lot of fat. I think this doesn't have a lot of fat either. So I'm really expecting a lot from this series. Like there was this series, I don't know which one it was, but it was like the expression that they show you the gun in the hand, but they don't show you the knife in the other hand. And I think that's what they're doing here, because in this scene, all of a sudden, Game of Thrones guys knows that Ross is an imposter, and we don't know how he knows. And I think it was because of the line he said. He said like, I stopped filing things into office because I don't know who to trust anymore. And Ross just responds like anyone would respond. And I think it was the wrong response. I think it was a code sentence, to be honest.
I thought it was something else he said. I can't remember the exact line, but the way Ross reacted was not the way you should react if I told you that. So I think it was something that it was something he said, and Ross was like a little too nonchalant about it. I have to go back and watch the episode.
Yeah, I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you because I watched it twice. So he said like, I stopped filing things into office because I don't know who to trust anymore. That was the line that Game of Thrones guy said. And then Ross responded like, okay, hand me the information and I'll give it to
Fury.
To Fury. That's what he said. And that was the wrong response. Which is, for me, it's a natural response, but it's the wrong response because I think Fury, for the people he trusted, he encoded like these code words and sentences. And Fury also says, because that's what I'm saying, I think they drop little lines that you don't notice right away. Fury also said to the MI6 lady, I've been doing this for a lot of time, and we didn't really know that he was working with the Skrulls for a long time, or how intensively he did it, or that he was aware of the Skrull invasion. But obviously, he's been aware of the idea of a Skrull invasion for 30 years, because in the Adventures 1, when he was making all the weapons for the Tesseract, we now know that it wasn't for the Chitauri, but it's probably for the Skrull invasion, because he has been on his mind. The Skrull invasion has been on his mind since Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. Sorry. So
Which is
he's been
before
doing this for
Avengers,
30 years. Yeah. So you can kind of imagine that even though he's older and more frail, he has set a lot of things in place already, and he just needs to activate it.
I'm hoping that this is going to be a great time to shine for
Yeah.
Sam Jackson and Nick Fury's character. Like, if they really delve into and give him all this backstory to play with about all this happening in the background for years. And I mean, the way the first episode ends is setting up. I understand why they did it, and we'll get to it when we get there. But I think they're setting it up really nicely to be a very good mystery crime thriller.
Yeah, you don't know what to you don't know what to believe. So that's the cool part. I see people react to the ending, but you don't know what you're seeing. So that's the mystery of
we've
this
gotta
series.
gotta wait till next episode for sure.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this start, I mean, Maria's back. We all love Maria, but I want to touch on Talos because Ben Mendelsohn is one of my favorite actors. Good Aussie boy, good Aussie bloke,
Oh man,
in there, just crushing it, representing. I'm
He's
so
chauvinist.
excited. Look, I back all the Aussies when they're doing
Yeah.
good. He's
Aussie,
a great
Aussie.
actor. He,
They
If
they
you-
put
if
him
you
in
ever
this
wanna
show
see-
just for you, John, so you can
Sorry?
have a bias.
just for me, just for me. If you haven't seen a show called Bloodline with him and oh god, it was on Netflix. It was the coach from Friday Night Lights. I just call him Coach Kyle Chandler. Him and Kyle Chandler in a show called Bloodline. He's acting in that as next level. Phenomenal. So I love Ben Mendelsohn. He's awesome. I love him as Talos. So seeing it was Talos that was chasing him, and that Ross was the bad guy. Did you think Ross was the Skrull in that fight, or
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
did you
yeah.
realize that he was the Skrull? Like when he
Yeah,
fell
I thought
down
that
on
was
the ground?
pretty obvious because why else would the guy attack him? I mean, there's two possible options, right? Either the Game of Thrones guy, whose name I forgot, is the
Yeah.
Skrull, or Ross is the Skrull. We already know because I was coming into the show with the idea, okay, I will only trust Nick Fury. I will not trust anyone else, and I will not trust anything that I see in this series. So I was kind of paranoid going into this. So maybe that's why it was a bit obvious. But also, there would not be a motive for a Skrull to say there's a Skrull invasion and we need to get this information to Fury. So it had to be Ross. The only thing that I was surprised is seeing Kobe Smulders in the car picking him up, because I thought, oh, that's weird. Doesn't she know? So I was surprised by that.
That was another
Interesting.
thing too that kind of threw me off. It's like he's a Skrull. How would he be in contact with her like that? Like they was working, like they was actually working together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got to go back and watch that. So I think a couple other people said that too. I got to go back and rewatch that. I only watched it once, so I got to watch it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. So then
Yeah,
I
I
thought,
think-
is she a Skrull as well, or is she just her? I think she's her, but
I think she's
remember,
working.
At that
yeah,
time, I
I-
was
Well,
confused.
Her and Nick Fury in the Spider-Man movie. So
yeah.
That's right. He was
Sure.
a Skrull the whole time in that. Yeah, I think surely she's her. I think in her conversation with Nick Fury, he would have known that she's not Maria. I would have thought. I just quickly, I think Andre's leaving. So Andre, peace out, brother. He goes, gotta
Oh,
go,
dude.
but I'll catch you
Bye-bye, man.
later.
I
Love you the most,
Andre.
Miss John. Screen grab that,
Take care.
someone. Screen grab that. He loves me the most.
Screen grab that.
Screen grab that. That's our next thumbnail. Boom. Often asked, is Red Guardian still in Russia? Pretty sure.
Oh, dude.
No idea.
I don't know.
Lakagi says he needs to watch this again. I feel like this was the maths meme the whole episode.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that. You're trying to think out what's going on. And he does need some Death Troopers next to him. 'cause he's Talos.
Talos needs that next to him.
But I thought it was a good intro. Then we bring back Nick. And then another great slide here from Offen. So Nick comes back. I love their relationship, which
Yeah.
made the end of the episode even more sad. But I love that he's back. He's weary. He's got a lot going on. They're obviously delving into him having PTSD, it seems like, from the snap, because that's a big
Yeah.
one. They're all
They
talking
use
about
it a
how he
lot.
left and he doesn't care about anybody anymore, or, you know, like he just vanished on everybody. He left everybody. I think that's going to play a bigger part in the story of him.
Well, it's like the
having
motive of
flashbacks.
the story, right?
Like, but I mean, like, I think they're definitely going to delve into why he left and why he
Oh
hasn't
yeah,
been
of
in
course,
touch
of course.
with anybody, to explain where he was through the last, you know,
Yeah.
however many and films and shows that have come out after it. He just hasn't been around like he was in the first phases. You know, he just vanished. So it's cool that they've kept him away, and then we're going to have something to go back on, which I think adds some weight to him being back and back with Talos, because he almost let Talos down in a way. And Maria, where's he been? He hasn't been there to help him
And
or be with
Gravik.
him. And you kind of, yeah, and Kravik, which again, he's created this villain by not being there to guide this young kid.
Yeah.
And I quite like that guy as a villain too. I want to delve into that, but he comes back anyway, goes for his walk. Oh no,
Yeah.
he
So
meets-
wait, because I think
whoa,
every
whoa.
sentence,
Slow down.
every sentence is more important than it seems at first. So I think the conversation between those two kind of establishes that Maria Hill is not in the loop with what's happening with Fury, and we need to know that she's not in the loop because the relationship feels like she would also always be in the loop of what's happening.
But she's mad at him in a way, I feel like.
Yeah.
She's mad at him. She's definitely mad at him, which was a cool angle to take, because even though she's there to pick him up, she knew he was coming.
Yeah.
When he landed, she's still pissed.
Yeah.
Everyone has a scroll. They're just scrolls trying to outwit other scrolls, so it's really a
Scrollception.
Robin Sparkles, classic. Oh, that's a throwback. Robin Sparkles. I get that reference. Captain America. I need that clip of Cap saying, "I get that reference," because I get that reference. That's from how I met. That's from How I Met Your Mother. Anybody? That's from How I Met Your Mother. Robin Sparkles. Her and How I Met Your Mother. The Kree need to remind Skrulls how good they got it on Earth. Yes, they do. John is trying to get Anthony to bed, but Anthony's
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the perfect series. We can't rush it. We should have rushed
Okay,
Flash.
good. All right.
We should have
I feel
rushed Flash. It would have been a lot more appropriate to rush the Flash, right?
The way that sentence is worded though is kind of
I'm trying to get him to bed.
Yeah,
Trying to
it's the second one. That's strike two, John.
Damn it. Anyway, when we find out about Kravik now, I like him as a villain. I love. You can even tell Talos is pissed with him to a degree, and I'm really excited to see them go into Talos more, and I hope he plays a bigger part in the series, which I'm assuming he will. I'm thinking it's going to be like a buddy cop, him and Talos working together. That's the feel I have anyway. But they meet. We get a lot of story here. We get a lot of info on him Kravik being pissed at Fury for being gone. So that's a great way of setting up a villain again. It's not like it's more of a personal story, I feel like. You know, if he had been there, maybe this guy wouldn't have gone down that path. I like that. And I like how it comes back to bite Fury in the ass at the end of the episode. But then Fury goes for his walk and he meets up with this. So do you guys have any thoughts on what part this woman's going to play and what division is she with? Like, I can't remember where she's from. Anthony, do you remember where she was? Like, what
Yeah,
she got
she's
to do?
MI6. And I
MI6.
kind of feel like she picks up Val's part in the comics.
Okay.
I kind of feel like they had a relationship somewhere. I was wondering if she was a Skrull or not, but she's also trying to convince her superiors that there's going to be a Skrull invasion, so I don't think she's a Skrull. But I have considered it though, because everyone's a Skrull until proven otherwise.
Well, that is true. I feel like she's working with him. I feel like she'll work with him though.
I think they both was trying to fill each other out, like see who knows what. But
Yeah, I
at the
think
same
she's gonna
time,
play a
not
bigger
say too much.
Yeah, and because then he goes back to Talos and talks about he talks about what they're going to do, and that prompts him later in the show, right, to go do something because he thinks that she's onto it as well. So it must mean something, I think. But then we kick ahead. Now I know we've only got 11 pictures, so there's bits of the story. So Anthony, you might have to use your special memory here.
Anthony's the
I
expert
really
on
love. He is the expert on this part. I loved this part where we meet Daenerys.
Daenerys, yeah. I was so waiting to call it Daenerys.
We
Oh,
meet
Kira,
Daenerys.
but Daenerys is better.
Yeah, when we meet her, and I'm quite liking her angle too. So she's the daughter of Talos.
Yeah.
She's obviously with these guys, and I love how they're inhabiting people, like they're locking them up now. I did hear a show talk about what they're doing with them here. That they're taking their memories now, so that they can blend in more by sticking them in those things. Is that right? Can you explain that? A
Yeah.
little bit?
Well,
Yeah.
I thought they were going to take the memories by sticking them in those things like they did in Captain Marvel, but it seems like they need to put their hands on their heads to actually get the memories. So it feels like the pods just keeps them in like a stasis, and they can use like technology to access the memories. But that a scroll is like a two-phase transformation. One, you transform into the bodies. If you are in their line of sight, we don't know yet if you maintain the ability to transform back into the same human if you're not in the line of sight again. But it seems like you do, because Talos, he switched back to being a scroll and then back to be Ben Mendelsohn face again. So I think you only need to be in the line of sight once, and then you're able to change. And then you put their hands on their forehead to get the memories.
Yeah, I just saw a comment. You freak. Often, you bastard. Right, like I guess, is it possible Nick Fury is a scroll decoy and the real Nick Fury is somewhere else plotting and planning? I don't think so.
That would be possible, because I think you don't need to trust. You need to not trust anything you see here. But I think if that were the case, that Talos would be the one to be Nick Fury. And I don't think it's going to be a buddy cop kind of series, because I think Talos is still conflicted on two reasons. One, he doesn't want to. You also see it in the battle with his fellow Skrull, right? With the bearded Skrull. He just feels conflicted about going to war with the Skrulls, even though he's ostracized from them. And also, I think Daenerys is being manipulated to do what Garrick wants, not because of her ideology, but I think they're just threatening to kill Talos. And that's why she goes along. But that's what I'm thinking. I have no reason to think it other than that if you cast Daenerys, you also want to have a good or sweet side to a character.
Possibly. And then often's just burning me here. If they try that with John, they won't get anything. Hashtag Iron Dory. Never know what's going on.
You would be our first line of defense, John. Just send in John.
Send me in.
Oh my god, they're taking the memories. Oh good, send in John.
They'll forget. They would know what's going on.
Yeah, so you would be like a first line of defense versus the Skrulls and also versus Kylo Ren. you would be awesome.
Oh shit. Oh man, but I did like the setup of the group. So she's obviously a believer. It seems like she's believing in what Kravik's talking about. They want to have their own world.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's believing it or if she's being manipulated. I don't know yet.
Either way, it sets up. They get her to go and pick up the bombs, I think, or they wanted to go pick up the whatever it is that she had to pick up.
Yeah, bombs.
Off this dude who could fight. I love the Nick Fury down here that often chucked in there. I think it looks cool.
This picture.
That's a great composite. How you got him in there,
What?
I do not know.
I dare you to say what again?
Yeah. This fight sequence is cool though, and you're right. How Talos is conflicted, like he didn't want Fury to shoot him and kill him. I like that part that's going to
Because he's still a Skrull at the end of the day. It's like still some type of loyalty to his people. So he's like, I'd rather I be the one to take him out than you do it.
Yeah, I like that.
I think he was offended that Nick Fury did it anyway. He's like, I told you not to do. You kind of betrayed my trust a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out.
Even though he lost. Yeah, but so I think you're right. I think that will play out because, like I said, I don't think there's a line too many in this series. I think everything is said for a specific reason. So I think, this will play into Talos switching. Well, maybe not switching sides, but not doing the things he's supposed to do to save the world.
Especially for his daughter.
Yeah, but I think
Especially
all
for
the
his daughter.
Skrulls, but especially for his
Yeah.
daughter. Yeah.
Especially for his daughter. I did love that scene. Just great, classic Sam Jackson. Everybody gets one
Yeah.
lie when he's talking about the lies. I love that part. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Good
Louis the
sequence.
15th is classic Samuel Jackson.
The him and Talos working together though, I do like that. So I do hope we get more of that, but also more conflict because that's exciting. But this bit was great. And she starts to get away, I think, and that's where we are. Yeah, and then he catches up to her,
Yeah.
where we learn more about the story and the mother dying. I think we'll delve into that more. Now, why he's ostracized again? I'm just trying to think about because why is he ostracized from Kravik? Is it because he doesn't agree with what he's doing? Did they delve
Yeah,
into
so I
that?
think most of the
Story.
Skrulls. Look, he said the Skrulls were helping Nick Fury because he promised them to give them a home.
A new
That's
home.
right.
Right.
Yeah. So and they lost trust in him because he just left. So they lost his trust. And
I mean, if we're
Talos.
going off the Marvel timeline. It's like 30 years later, they still have a home.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a long
That's
time.
a long time. That's a long time.
a
And they said like
long
we have been helping you all this time. So I'm really curious to see how they have been helping him. Were they like Nick Fury spies? And now they're already put into place, but now they just switch side and they're still spies? Or what have they been doing? Well, anyway, they're disgruntled employees now. So he was kicked off the council because obviously Talos still was loyal to Nick Fury, which they
Yeah.
kind of show with them greeting each other in the Skrull way.
Yeah, I think so. And it makes sense. Like when Fury says he has eyes everywhere. I think he said that in one of the other films, or he's everywhere, or something like that.
Yeah,
And that can refer back to Skrulls working for him. The fact that even Talos was pretending to be him in Far From Home. I'm not. Often says not that a long time for Skrulls. Talos hasn't had his midlife crisis yet. I love that. And
Yeah.
he's like, I got the Avengers. Yeah, that was cool. But I like the story building between father and daughter here, and the conflict that's going to come from that. I think that was cool. He's trying
Dude,
to turn
if
because he says,
If it was with bombs and the world, I would have just shot her. Just shoot her in the leg. Just maybe shoot 2 legs.
"Yeah, fair play. You could have shot her in the leg. Shooting your own daughter, though, I couldn't do that to Mila.
Dude,
Jeez,
just 2
no way.
legs.
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Just to
I think
tell
you
them.
missed some chats, right?
Where are we? Maybe I did, maybe not. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. Everybody gets. No, I think we're good.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I got this, Anthony.
Do they speak
Now,
English
look,
in Skrullos? I think they do when you drink the goo. Or eat the goo. What was it again?
You gotta,
Eat
you
the
gotta drink the
goo.
goo.
Drink the
You gotta
goo.
drink the goo. You gotta drink the goo. It's cool we met the character in Captain Marvel in that ship.
Yeah.
Which character? Which ship? Which character?
Like the beginning, when she was trying to escape, right?
Who's trying to escape?
Captain Marvel.
I can't remember.
The beginning.
The beginning of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
No, I
She
can't
was
remember. I
hanging
think I
upside
watched
down, right?
it. Yes, actually, yes. Gaia. Gaia. That's her name.
Oh
Gaia.
yeah, of course. Was it
That's
also
the
on the
daughter's
ship?
name.
I thought it was on
Yeah.
Earth. Okay.
Oh, Renz is dropping a long comment here. Fury is usually a few steps ahead when planning. Hill mentioned it when they were playing chess, that it hit hard at the ending where Fury and team missed where the bombs are and Hill died. Well, that's what I want to talk about. So I'm missing a bit of story here in between the last 2 pictures because we go from that him letting her get away and then her going back and then having a crisis and coming back and telling him that the bombs will be marked and all that type of stuff, which
Yeah.
makes you think she's playing ball. Is she playing ball or was she tricked? Did she know that she was leading them on with the bags?
Yeah, I
being
think
decoys?
she did because I don't know if it was a graphic she was talking to, but she was talking to a Skrull, and the Skrull said, "Thanks to you, now we have a bait," and she was the bait. So yeah, she knew.
I couldn't tell. I don't know. I'm still up in the air on that. So
See, I thought maybe she didn't know.
Yeah, she
and
did.
that
She did because,
maybe-
and that's what I'm saying. You really have to pay attention to every line they say in this series, and that's why I watched it twice because it's very dense on information.
See, you watched
And
it
it's really
twice. I only
easy to
watched
miss
it
things.
once.
Yeah, I watched it twice
Now,
because
I also watched it twice, but I'm Iron Dory, so
yeah. So they said, thanks to you, now we have a bait.
Okay, before we
Yeah.
move any further, I got a question for Anthony. Maybe he can help me out with this one. When they was in, is they new home called Skrullos?
Yeah, yeah. But
now-
their old home is called Skrullos as well, I think.
Okay, so when they're in their own area, what was the excuse for them not turning back to Skrulls instead of walking around in human form?
Yeah. So they said the longer you spend in human
my
form.
thing is just maybe they save on special effects, but what was the end story reason?
that's probably the real reason.
That's the real
Yeah,
reason.
so now I think it's I think it's also like a to get the story right, because if they changed back into Skrulls, then we would instantly know who's a Skrull and who's
Yeah.
like a human. But the reason they said was the more you spend inside your host's body, the more it comes natural to move inside that body.
Yeah,
Like,
and that makes
you
sense
get better
to me. That makes
synchronized.
sense to me.
Yeah, and I thought it was
sense to
just a way to not show us who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, I was okay with that.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I was okay with
I was
that.
fine with it
I
too.
thought that worked good.
I like the
Yeah,
mystery
and-
of who is a Skrull because I don't trust anyone here.
Yeah, but I like that we have that. I like that it's not just all laid out and you have to like figure it out, and there is a mystery and there could be twists and turns. That's what I like about
Yeah.
when shows and
Yeah.
films do that. So I enjoy that part of it. And yes, I do remember now Talos' kid on the
Yeah,
I want to know how his wife died, because he says your mother died fighting your enemy. So that's
Yeah.
what I thought maybe turned her. So I think there's going to be definitely more conflict with that.
Maybe she died in Endgame or something, or Infinity War. Maybe she was one of the Avengers. I don't know. I'm just making up something.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
said she died while you were working for a killer. So someone actually killed her because her and Talos they seem to be the only two ones that were exiled because them being loyal to Fury.
Fury.
And we don't know if there are others, but it seems to be like those are the only two.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
they
Ren's
have been
is
working
bad.
for Fury probably.
They probably have. Offen and Renz are both sad about Maria. I feel bad about Maria.
Yeah, well, we don't know about Maria yet, yo. So it's too early to be sad.
Ren strikes. The longer you spend on it as a scroll, the higher we're playing FX artist. Well, you know what got me? It said special guest star Kobe Smulders. Not
Yeah, but
starring.
why did they say it though?
I don't know.
Because
She
they
was in
all
Far From Home, right?
Marvel also knows that we pick apart everything we see, right? So they have
That's
to
true.
pay attention to the subtitles. They have to pay attention to the end credits. They have to pay attention to everything.
Yeah, Maria was with Talos in the car at the end well, she was with him the entire time in Far From Home. So that's how she would have been working with Talos, I would say.
Yeah, but they were both
post-credits,
scrolls,
yeah.
right?
But they were both Skrulls in Far
Yeah.
From Home. That was him and his
Were they
wife.
both?
Yeah.
Yes. It was
Oh,
him and his
shit.
wife.
Okay. Shit. There you go.
So we don't know if Maria actually died. We only know that the one that died didn't turn back to a scroll. So there were a couple of things I thought when she was dying. First of all, she didn't turn for a long time. So I'm guessing it wasn't a scroll. Second of all, I thought about, which movie was it again? I think it was Captain America with Natasha having a mask and she could act like one of the board people. Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
So we already know that those masks exist and that Shield has those.
Yes.
So either it was Maria Hill that died, or it's just like a body double. Because
Well,
in
I'm gonna
Sorry?
say it was Maria Hill, and the reason I said it is because if you look at the credits, since Anthony is talking about everything counts,
yeah,
look at the credits, it said guest starring. What I forget her real name as Maria Hill.
Kobe Smulders,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kobe
So if
Smulders,
you get
yeah.
starring on an episode, that means you're not a regular on the show, which means she was only probably on this show just to get killed off for this first.
Yeah, so
episode.
it's good that you repeat that because probably when John said it, no one was listening.
Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
But yeah, but I don't know why. So it could be. So either it's actually Maria Hill, but Maria Hill is such an important character. So either Kobe Smulders had like a disagreement with Disney and didn't want to continue anymore, or it was like a body double. Because somewhere in the comics, Fury says to Maria Hill, whenever you go out into the field, have a body double, do it, and not yourself because you're too important. So it could be either way. I don't know if she's dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she is, though. I kind of feel like she
I
is.
feel like she's not.
Talos' wife died maybe the
But
whole
I kind of
time.
hate when they kill characters and then just bring them back all willy nilly. It kind of like removes the stakes and all that from the stuff when you watch it.
Yeah.
It takes something away from when you actually reverse stuff like that. It's like, well, now I
Yeah.
don't care about anybody when they die.
Yeah,
or
true.
I know they're just gonna come back.
True,
Yeah.
but for this series, I don't mind it because I'm going into this series with the idea that I can't trust anything that I see before I get more information, and so I love it either way. If they killed her, it's cool because the stakes are very high now, and Nick Fury is on his own. If they didn't kill her and it was a body double, I like it because I started out not trusting anything I see, so it just
Yeah.
add to the movie for me. I'm fine either
It's
way.
really, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah.
With that for sure. Ren says Talos' wife died maybe at the time when the blip happened. Maybe we're definitely going to find out. I think they're gonna go into it. They'll definitely go into it between him and his daughter. Power Broker used that mask. Yes, she
Yeah,
used it.
yeah.
That's a good point. The writer didn't even read the comics. Ouch.
Yeah, but he can have someone have like
Do
the,
that. Yeah, he
yeah.
can do that.
the digest version.
Yeah. He's also got Kevin Feige. Also, Helen says, I noticed Kobe's name wasn't in the opening credits. Yeah, I thought I missed it, but when I saw her in the end credits, it made me think it was her and not a scroll.
I think it was in the opening series as a guest, right?
I can't remember. I have to double check. Or director,
Oh,
I can't remember.
did you
I don't
did you
remember.
see
I just
though that?
remember it being at the end.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it in the beginning, but I'm not sure. I did see that Samuel L. Jackson was an executive producer, which I like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then we come to our villain. This is the first picture I have of him. I actually quite like him as a villain. I think he's played it well so far. When he was switched, so like I don't think he has to. He definitely doesn't have to be in front of people because he was switching people. He was that young girl again, which makes me think the girl with the ball was he the girl with the ball before? Remember,
Well, we
he
don't
was the girl.
we don't know who was who. I think because Daenerys said there were like 100 operatives in the field, right? So
Yeah, but no, I'm pretty sure that was him though at the end.
I think that
switching
was
from
him
the
as the
young
little girl.
to. Yeah, it was, man. I'm telling you, it was.
You know what
'cause he
this
follows
reminded
him.
me of? You all ever seen that movie Fallen?
yeah. So this is
when,
Denzel movie where you
With
How did
Denzel
he
was
transfer?
chasing-
yeah.
Uh-huh.
How do
And
you
he kept
transfer
pushing
again?
bodies.
Touching them? Yeah.
Just touching
Did-
them.
Touching them, right? Or talking to them?
Just touching them.
No,
Just
he was
touching
just
them.
touching them.
Yeah,
Each time
that
he
was
touched
cool.
somebody, he would switch people.
That was a great
That kinda
movie.
reminded
That was a
me of
great
this little
movie.
thing right here.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Before this, we already see him talking to one of the other scrolls, and I think that's going to be important as well because, like I said, I think everything's important. We see him chucking like 10 sugar cubes in some
Yeah.
coffee or water, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to come back. Either we see a normal human do the same thing. No, it's going to be something, or it's something that Skrulls do to keep up their energy. I don't know which of the two is more likely,
I think that
but I think one of
Gonna
both.
play a part. It's
Yeah, so I
definitely
think-
gonna play a part.
I think the president is going to chuck 10 sugar cubes into his coffee because
Yeah.
when he's talking to the other Skrull, the Skrull is saying, "You are the end game," or "You are the goal," and he says, "I'm not the goal." And in the opening, you already see the White House, so we already know there's going to be like a play on the White House. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking he is going to be the one that's going to be switched to be Harrison Ford or a president. And I don't think the current president. I think he will change it to the vice president, and they'll have Rhodey assassinate the president. I think that's going to
Man,
be
you
the
determined to
play.
make Rhodey a bad guy in this series, aren't you?
Yeah,
He
I
is.
am. No,
He
not
is.
Rhodey, not
He
Rhodey.
is.
I think Rhodey is going to be in the pod somewhere. Rhodey is still a good guy, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be napped by a scroll. I think all Stark Tech is going to be napped by the scrolls, and then in Armor Wars he's just going on a rampage to get everything back. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That could make sense. That could make sense. I think you might be onto something there. I didn't think he would be, but when you put it like that, that Armor Wars is about to be Stark Tech getting stolen and him going after it, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
But
and,
this-
and mind
this
you, I
graphic-
haven't seen any trailers, so if someone else knows something about the trailers, I probably won't know.
Okay. In regards to him with the sugar cubes, though, I think that's definitely going to come to play a part. I bet you Nick Fury's going to be having a drink with someone, and he's going to be sitting there, and they're going to put a ton of sugar cubes in, and we're going to be like that meme of Leo looking at the screen from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like, "Hey, the sugar cubes!" I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But he was a great villain. The fact that he was switching bodies. Now, that little girl with the ball that Fury saw in the streets when he went for the walk before he got kidnapped by the MI6, was that Kravik watching him the whole time? Because it's
Could
the
be.
same little
Could be.
girl
Could
that he
be.
then follows at the end with the ball. I'm calling it. I reckon
Could be, could
that
be.
was him watching him the whole time.
I'm going to
Otherwise,
call
why would they
something
show the
else,
little
though.
girl twice? Why
I'm
would
going
they
to
do
call
it
something
twice?
else. I think that at the end of this series, we'll see that the Skrulls have played a part in most of the movies and have played an integral part of Civil War. Because I think they knew that they weren't able to mimic superpowers, so they had to get rid of the Avengers somehow. So I think it'll turn out that one of the things that they've done is that they'll have infiltrated the Avengers or broke up the Avengers. And in Civil War, that was Zemo, right? Doing that. So I kind of think that they'll make Zemo a Skrull.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
curious to see if that's going to happen.
That's
I
a big
think,
call. That's a
yeah,
big call. We'll see.
I think it will make sense.
That's a big call.
But we'll do a Skrull bingo at the end of this, right? To see who everyone thinks is going to be a Skrull.
Often says the show special guest star as it turns to black after she bleeds out. So that could be another little hint. That little girl with the ball reminded me of the MIB exam where Will Smith shot the little girl in the middle of the street at night. That was cool. Ren says it's actually nice to watch a more mature take on MCU. I hope this series will continue strong. I think it will. I
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah, I
it
think
changing
it will.
tone. The sugar cubes also reminded me of Wilson Fisk, cockroach from MIB.
Yeah, the Edgar suit.
Yeah. President being a Skrull makes sense, as Brave New World is going to tie in. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. And Thunderbolts.
And Thunderbolts. Yeah, I'm liking this lower level stuff. I'm glad that there's and Armor Wars. So if we get this, then we like with Armor Wars, with Thunderbolts, and all that. If that's all more street level, not end of the world type shit, I think that'll be good to see. I think Rhodey's been a Skrull since Iron Man
Dude,
2.
I'm-
I don't think so.
I don't think so
know if I
either.
agree with that one.
Dude, it would be funny though.
Skrull didn't copy Terrence Howard properly.
Dude,
Done.
it would be so funny if it was since Iron Man 2, because then only the
Yeah, I think
Skrull's
it-
legs got
I-
shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's him because
Nah.
of what went down in Civil War and the blood
Yeah.
and him being injured, and they would have worked on him and they would have discovered in surgery or
yeah.
something that he was a Skrull.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think so. I think it happened later.
That's the type of
The
stuff
girl
that I
on the
look
bench
at.
was him too. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I like the fact that I really like the analogy of a pawn just moving up places until it's at a destination. It's just like Sharon Carter got promoted because of what she did. She moved up places and she got access to a lot more stuff. So it kind of means that Skrulls can do things that seem to be good at first, just to get promoted and to get higher up, to get in a better position to do the stuff. So I really like that idea of just moving places, and just like Rhodey, there could be like a guy they put somewhere in the military so he could come close to Rhodey, just so he could take him over, and then Rhodey could come close to the vice president again, just to take him over, and just do everything step by step.
That would be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I've got one more slide, but I can't get it to work. It was of Maria bleeding out. I'm just going to try one more time so we can all just commemorate. No, so just cry over it. No, it's not loading. Not Maria.
Press
I think
F in
she's
the
gone.
chat for Maria.
I think we all need to decide: do we think she's dead, or do we agree with Anthony in that she's not dead? I think she's actually dead. I think
Dude,
she's
I
going to be
don't-
the catalyst for Nick Fury to
I
come
think she's dead.
back.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's not dead. I'm just saying we don't know yet. I'm still in the middle.
We don't know.
For me, it's 50-50, really. And I would be fine either way.
I'm fine either way.
That's a
Even though
cop
I
out,
like
Anthony.
her.
Pick a side.
Okay, so I'm saying 51% not dead and 49% dead.
Okay,
And
I'll
it
take
also
that.
has to do with how important Maria Hill usually is.
Yeah, I think she's dead. I think she's dead.
51 not
DS,
dead.
what do you think? What do you think? What do you think, DS? Do you think she's dead? Do you
Yeah,
think she's a
she's dead.
scroll?
I think she's
Yeah, I
dead.
think
I don't think she's a scroll because she didn't turn back.
Yeah,
We
she's
didn't
not.
see any blood, but the screen did go black, like they say. So we don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
mask. It's a spy story. This is a spy movie. So
But if she was a scroll, wouldn't Gravik know she was a scroll too?
no, she's not a scroll. She's not a scroll.
So
But I think it's
that
just
was
a.
her de-
I think it's a Shield employee with a mask. 51%.
Oh, I get you. Freaking
Okay.
hell. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm liking this.
But then
Helen
wouldn't
thinks
Fury
she's
know
dead.
that was a fake?
Sorry?
Wouldn't Fury know that she was a fake?
Yeah, probably. But it's still a Shield employee.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was the
Interesting.
one who told her to use body doubles. Well, not here, but in the comics.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of hate we only got one episode. I think they should have dropped like 2 episodes, but I think they did for the people who do reviews online because a lot of them got like episode 1 and 2 reviews. I'm like, how y'all see
Yeah,
the second
they did.
episode? They say they
Yeah.
sent it to them. So
Yeah, I think they did. Man, look, and you know the best thing about this is, and what I loved about shows like Moon Knight and that when we did them and Andor is, it's got me excited for the next episode. The way, like, they've given us all this espionage, and if you're paying attention, there really is a lot going on in this show, and the fact that it's captured our attention like this, it's got me excited for the next episode. So it's smart when they do one episode of the week. Even though I get upset and you want to just binge it, because it gets us talking about it for a week and it builds anticipation for the next episode. And that I really, it's got me there. The next 6 weeks, I'm going to be hyped to see what
yeah,
happens.
me too.
And it's good to have that with Marvel again, a show
Yeah.
that you're getting excited about what's going to happen next. So I'm super excited.
Hey,
Any
I
more
appreciate-
final thoughts?
oh no, I was just gonna
Sorry.
say I appreciate there being only six to 11 episodes with these shows. I'm going back and watching like Arrow and all those. And they got like 20 some episodes a season. It's tiring, man, when you got that many episodes, and then it's a lot of
Dude,
fillers. I'm glad
it
they got
feels-
away from that.
Yeah, it feels like such an investment to rewatch those.
Now, man, when you look at it, it's like, man, this is a lot to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, often said they wasted Lady Sif too, but yeah, well, that was
True,
just that
true,
movie was
true.
crazy. Damn shame. Shield's gone. Shield's gone.
Shield is
Anthony.
gone. Shield
Life
is
model
gone.
decoy.
But Sword is still there.
Right. Yeah. Yes, they are. Journalists had 2 episodes. Yes, a lot of journalists got 2 episodes. Press.
Press.
And I'm glad they're long episodes too. It's better,
Yeah,
much
me
better,
too, me
longer
too.
episodes. You need time to talk and have conversations and actually build story. But I'm excited. I'm excited about the villain. I think he's a good villain so far. He's made himself, and if he has killed her, then they're showing that he means business. I want a villain that's not redeemable. I don't want him being redeemed. I don't want him turning good. I want
Yeah.
him to be a villain, and I want him to fight to the death. That's
And
what I
be a
want to
good
happen.
one, not generic.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Like Marvel movies and shows kick ass when the villain is really good. And I think he has the chance to be a good villain so far. He seems like he's,
Yeah, I think
especially that he
he'll-
can shapeshift so easily. That
Yeah.
was sick.
I
That
think
was
he'll
horrible.
stay villain. I don't think that Daenerys will stay a villain, or that we will find out that she's not really a villain, but she will turn,
Yeah.
or turns out that she was manipulated, or something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, Fury. It's going to be a conflict for Fury and Talos because if she does come back over, Fury's going to be pissed that she tricked them and got Maria killed. If Maria is dead, and that could be conflict between Talos trying to protect his daughter and Fury trying to take her out.
Yeah, now that you say that, maybe she's not going to come over, because then we'll have a conflict between Fury and Talos, because Fury will want to kill her and Talos will try to stop him.
We'll try and
That would-
stop her, and
that
there'll
would
be
also be
conflict
cool.
between Talos.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be cool.
That will make more sense.
It would be good if she is hardcore with
Yeah.
Gravik. I think that would be sick.
It would be.
Oh yeah. Damn, did I just figure something out? Look, I'll forget
you
by
did.
next week. But I
You're
think that
onto
was a good
something.
point. Woo! Wait. This is okay. I think this is well deserved. You know what we do.
You know what we do?
Yes. Yes, I can. I've also seen it. I know what's going to happen. But nonetheless, that brings us to the end of the episode. Awesome episode of Secret Invasion. I cannot wait for episode 2. Let's give our ratings. Anthony, DS, let's go out of 5. What would you give this show as a rating?
Yeah, so for me, it's hard to rate the show once again because it does a lot more than it shows on the tin. It's just
Okay,
like
do it.
with Moon Knight, right? It's not only about the story or about the action or about what it's trying to tell us. It's also the way it does, the way that it's like a mystery puzzle for us to find out. I think if a series can manage to do that, it's a grade above a lot of other series.
Yeah, I think so. So, what's your rating?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like a 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you got to give it something. 4.5 out of 5. So it's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, DS. What about you, mate? Are you excited for the rest
You
of the
know what?
series?
I gotta go back and watch it again, and I don't know if I've decided how I feel just yet.
Okay.
It seemed like it's starting off on a good note, but I don't know, man. Marvel like got a bad taste with me, so I don't know. So we'll see.
Ooh, okay.
I'd rather see all the episodes and then give it a rating. At the moment, right now, I don't know, maybe like a 3.
Damn!
Ooh,
Hurting my feelings here.
damn. Hurting our feelings. Well,
It's the same as Flash.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Hey,
often gives it a
that just
4 out of
shows
5.
I have no bias.
Scroll.
So you think this rates the same as Microwave Babies?
Hey, I'm like Oprah. Everybody gets a 3. You get a 3.
You get a 3. You get a 3. You get a 3. Yeah, like Oprah. Posing Oprah.
Invaded the chat.
Oprah's a
That's
scroll.
classic.
She would make a good
She
scroll though.
She would. This is 2022. Just catch up on the chats here. 4 out of 5 for Often. That's a good score. 5 out of 5 for wait.
No,
let's
4.5.
skip one. Rens. Yeah. 5 out of 5
5.
Dirty Bombs for Rens,
Nice.
and 4 out of 5. I don't know why that's just what I came up with. Nice. Yeah, I'm
4.5
around a
out of
4,
5.
4 and a 4.5. I'm excited.
4.5.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Excuse me, Helen, a 3? How
She's
dare
like
you?
a 3. Hey, and I like
How
Winter
dare you.
Soldier. So if y'all comparing it to Winter Soldier, I don't know if it's just that. That's just that. Just yet.
Yeah, so I don't think. Do you think it's an accurate comparison with the
Nah,
Soldier? I
I
think
don't
the
think so.
tone. I think it's as gritty as Winter Soldier is, but this is like a completely other type of content,
Yeah.
right?
It's a different story, but I get the tone part. I
I
like.
see the
For me, it's the
comparison.
espionage of it. Yeah, the
Yeah,
espionage of it. That's
yeah.
what I
So
like.
one is espionage, kind of psychological, maybe thriller, and the other is like an action thriller. That's
Yeah.
how I would define those.
This
right?
is more psychological.
But I think the color palette and the grittiness is the same. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
It's very down to earth kind of style of filming and shooting and
Yeah,
real world
I like
kind
it.
of.
I agree. Butch says, I agree with Anthony. Rhodey's definitely a scroll. I give this episode 5 out of 5. A total roller coaster ride for me. Butch is down. Woo! I hope we get a new Nick Fury, an old grizzled Nick Fury. That's what I want.
Yeah.
With a beard. Come on now. Okay, Helen. My comment was reaction to DS. I have it at a 4 at least. Nice.
Hey,
okay.
hey. I ain't gonna be allowed to come back, John, giving out reviews like this. They gonna tell you,
So-
don't let me back.
She's
So
like,
who do you guys
3.
think of out of all the movies that we've had?
Okay.
Who do you think will be kidnapped as a scroll? So I think. Let me start. I think,
Ooh,
like
okay.
I said, Sharon Carter. I think she's definitely a scroll. I think it was too on the nose to do it. I think they tried to deceive people and have like a what the fuck moment, but I think it was too obvious that it was a scroll. So Sharon Carter for me, one. I think Rhodey. I think either the vice president or president, but I think the vice president, and he'll shoot up to be the president. I also think Zemo because he caused civil war, and I think the Skrulls because they've been here for 30 years, right? And I think the Skrulls were trying to get rid of the Avengers because they couldn't copy the power. So I think Zemo is going to be one as well, and I'm kind of on the fence of Val. I don't think she
Val,
is, but
yeah.
maybe she is. She was with Ross, and that was after Black Panther, right? That she was with Ross. So
She
maybe
was, yeah.
Val. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's some good points. I would disagree with you on Zemo. I don't think Zemo is. That would cheapen the family arc of his family dying.
True, true, true.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
yeah,
true.
I don't like making Nemo because it kind of takes away from his story in Civil War.
True.
It kind of like makes
Especially if
that-
he's going to be in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
if he is. I think he is, right?
I think,
but I definitely
vice
think
president though, only because of Thunderbolt being the
Yeah.
president in the new Falcon movie or Captain Falcon, whatever movie. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think the vice. So it was Dermot Mulroney the vice president? I thought he was the president. That Brody was talking to.
He
was
was
he the vice president?
President at the moment. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
president.
So
at
I
the
think he's a
moment.
scroll. I think he's a scroll for
Maybe,
sure.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think he's a scroll because he's a big actor to bring in for a small role. Like he's
True.
a seasoned actor. So I feel like he's going to have a bigger role to play than just a cameo of him being a president talking to Rhodey.
Now, what if Rhodey isn't a scroll, but the president is a scroll, and the president is getting all this info out of Rhodey? It could go that
Yeah,
way
so
too.
if Rhodey isn't a Skrull, then he's a damn snitch. Because he said, we can't track Fury, and Kobe Smulders is gone as well. They've got AWOL. He's a snitch.
He's a snitch?
Damn.
Damn, I don't do Rhodey like that.
Hey, but when has
Yeah,
Rhodey
so-
not been a snitch? He was a snitch in Iron Man 2. Come on.
Actually, he was too. That's
True.
snitch.
Iron
And
Patriot.
he
Yeah.
stole Tony's suit.
And he's told.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's a Skrull.
Okay, maybe he's a scroll. Maybe he's a scroll.
But if he's a Skrull, though, did they need to cut off the legs of the Skrull who tried to impersonate him, though? To give him mechanical legs? Take one for the cost, bud.
You gotta
Chop
have
off
to
the
walk.
legs.
You can't. You gotta do the walk too if you're gonna be him.
That's classic. And I think a Nick Fury hot toy would be cool with one rolling eyeball. Classic. Classic friends. Strikes
Cool.
again. 4 out of 5 for AJ. That's cool. With that freaky smiling alternate head sculpt. No thanks. Val is Andor. Val is Frasier.
Fraser, yeah. Julie Louis-Dreyfus
Val.
or Val
Yes.
from Andor.
Yeah. Val. Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Stitch Time, baby. Awesome. So, yeah, I think I agree. Sharon Carter's a scroll for sure. Rhodey, maybe. Definitely, I think Dermot Mulroney is.
Sonia?
And Sonia.
I don't think she is, but maybe the one she was reporting to is.
Yeah. And I hope they don't do any other big characters that cheapens their story, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens as the show goes. I'm excited for episode 2. We'll know more next week, I guarantee.
Yes, me
I
too.
think the intro episodes always just get you kicked off. Episode 2 is generally where it really kicks into gear of a story. So
That's a pretty safe bet, John. We'll know more. We'll know 50 minutes more.
look, we're definitely going to know more about the story come the end of next week. Definitely. All right, guys. Well, look, DS, we'll start with you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a special guest today. What have you got going on your channel at the moment? What can people tune into to see on your channel? What's happening?
Absolutely nothing going on.
Absolutely nothing.
No, I got a couple new movie reviews up. I did a review on The Flash, which I had to re-upload today because I was fighting with Warner Brothers, and I just don't feel like fighting with them anymore. So I re-uploaded it. And then I got maybe some pose videos coming up. I just ain't decided who I'm gonna do a pose video for yet. So
Nice. Oh, I look forward to those. Always love those pose videos. You did one on the shelf. You went through some of your setup on the shelf. I like that video too.
yeah,
And
because
can
you know
see
what,
displays that
people
you
usually people usually do like full-fledged collection tours. I figure, well, let me just do a collection tour of each shelf every so often. So that's pretty much what that
Yeah.
is.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that myself. I do that myself. I quite like it. But if you haven't already, hop on a DS's channel, give him a sub, give him a follow, check out his videos. He's into Transformers too. He's got awesome Transformers. So if you're into that, go check him out, please. Anthony, yourself, which is our next now? I think all the fans want to know what character are you going to pose up next?
Dude, I don't
It's
know.
going to be your tutorial.
I don't know. I think
demand more tutorial videos. I demand them.
yeah, so I think I'll switch up between tutorials and posting showcases. I just opened Loki and Sylvie, so maybe those, but I don't know. I don't think they're
Nice.
too much in demand as for characters to do. I don't know yet. Maybe Ahsoka.
Mm. Ooh, a Ahsoka
Um,
video would be cool because she's quite difficult to pose.
Yes, she is. So I might do that one. I don't know yet. I don't
Mhm.
know yet. But I'll let
Mm.
you know. I'll let you know. And of course, we have the giveaway, which is going to be on 4th of July because of chat.
Yes.
It's going to be the Infinity War Star Lord. So if you haven't,
yeah.
just comment, like, subscribe on that video, and then you're in.
If I win that
Cool.
Star-Lord, people would say it was rigged, wouldn't they?
I don't know. Just enter
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, just enter.
It's
Look,
not.
he's
I have no
definitely
reason. I have no reason to rig anything. So
They'd be like, it's rigged. They're already cool.
You don't have the Star. Well, look, if DS doesn't have a Star Lord, it could be meant.
No,
to
no,
be,
I
so
already
I'm
had
sure
that Star-Lord. I had it and sold it, man. But it was a cool figure, though.
Uh,
I just didn't,
These
Guardian
people-
figures. I'm not into the Guardians, so I'm like, why do I have this figure? Then I tried to. I was gonna do a Black Panther Star-Lord, and I was like, nah, I'll just sell it because I'm pretty sure they probably do a Star-Lord Black Panther. And they teased it and never released it, so that's
Yeah.
that.
They did, didn't they? They
Dude,
did.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
they
have
did
that
tease
one.
it.
I so wanted to have that one.
Yeah, they did actually. I remember now. They did tease that bastards.
It looked good too, man. I don't know why
Yeah.
they just didn't go ahead and do it.
That's what I'm worried about with Supergirl. I'm worried that they might not bother continuing it now
Could-
because the movie's not
could.
going well. They didn't release Hawkeye. They teased him from the show Hawkeye.
Did they?
They haven't even
Oh,
announced
yeah,
it.
yeah. True.
Yeah. So you're going to get a Kate Bishop but no Hawkeye. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
will.
that's
They will.
crazy.
Dumb dogs. Silly. Well, either way, I'm excited to see what tutorial video you're going to do next, Anthony. I think
Thank
that
you,
was
man.
great. I think you should do
Thanks.
more. You could do things like landing poses, flying poses. You could do things on particular poses even.
Yeah,
Just
I could do
throwing
that.
out there as an
I
idea.
could do that.
You're
Yeah.
I
welcome.
don't know how
Boom.
Anthony
You're
does it,
welcome.
man.
Thank you.
Whenever I do tutorial videos, they like 50-minute videos. I got like 4 of them on my channel. Like, these are too long, man.
Yeah, so they start
That is
out as
long.
50-minute videos, and then it takes me like 3 weeks to cut it.
Yeah. So that's I'm not better you than me. I struggle with doing those types of videos. So I think you doing it is a great idea.
Cool.
Often's also chucked DS's link to his channel down here. Good work.
Appreciate
Offen.
the shout
Mr.
out and the plug, Offen.
Mr. Producer. Love the Black Widow posing
Ah,
tutorial. See,
thanks, Renz.
Renz is a fan. See,
Solid video.
don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby. Now, we're mindful of finishing up, but Lukagi is asking, DS, have you seen Rise of the Beasts?
Yes, I have. I also did a hit piece on that too. As Anthony
Ooh,
called.
so hop onto his channel and check out his hit piece on Rise of the Beasts. Oh, guys. Well, look, thank you for being here, DS. It was great fun talking about The Flash, talking about Secret Invasion. I'm excited for the next 5 weeks of Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So, super excited. Everybody in the chat, thanks for being here, especially the guys who haven't seen it and sat through getting spoilers. I don't know how you do it, but we appreciate you hanging out with us on this lovely Sunday morning from the future / Saturday night in the past where you guys are. You'll catch up to me one day. You'll catch up to me one day.
I'll catch you,
I'm
John.
always ahead. I'm the Flash
You gotta
ahead.
go see if Ezra Miller can get me there. Flash me to the future.
Oh, Jesus.
We're going to change that mic.
Let me
This
put my
mic is
Flash shirt on. Maybe I can do it myself.
You need to do the pose, right? The pose with the swimming running pose, just to get there. Yeah, like that.
Well, thanks again, everybody. All you guys in the chat, we love you all. Thanks for being here. Until next week, where we cover episode 2 of In Secret Invasion, we will catch you then, guys. DS,
my
thanks for
air
coming,
conditioner
mate.
too loud.
Anthony.
It's hot.
Nah, I couldn't hear it.
No, it was good. It was
Just
good.
Anthony.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
guys.
Bye bye, man.